Hello again. You Cheryl, Daniel, Cola, Susie. It's good to see y'all. I think I finally got on chill mode. I'm running around here like a chicken without his head. Hey, Kim. Oh my goodness, hot? Really? Oh, 101. Kim, are you in Arizona? Hey, chessboard, Indy, Pat. And we'll see where Carl is. Oh, there he is. No, no big red. So, um, I want to apologize for last night. Um, y'all know there's a link, Carl, if you want it. I can tolerate a lot of things, but not being disrespectful to my panel and my chat. You're leaving. I really hated the booting. I don't like to do that. That's not me. But it was needed. Kiss off. Good to see you, hon. Yeah, and after last night, then went over to Huckleberry's. Ate the cat. Good to see you. Stan's line. Good to see you. Al. Huckleberry. He can take it. I hope he can take it because he upset me a little bit. He's so nice in the chat. It just surprised me. But the whole thing that I wanted to get into there, he talks about all this property he has and planes and so is it possible that he has all of that and could still be miserable? That's what I saw is some.
Unfortunately, I missed everything you just said coming up here. That's the drag, because when you hit that link, there's a few moments there you don't get to hear what's going on.
Yes, I know.
Hey, everybody, Chessboard, the Cat, Amir, Cola, Stands Alone, Cheryl, Eric. Who else y'all got up in here? Kiss Off, Lily, Al Bundy.
Hey, Eric. He probably don't remember.
He's here.
Maybe not.
2856.
Hey, D-Dog. Oh, there she is.
I'm here for moral support.
Yay. Well, it's just it it yes, I allow anyone on panel, Carl, but I don't allow that. I mean, if I understand taking a
Well, all right, there is
fine.
some there are several people that drink that come on panels and get out of hand. I
Yeah,
don't expect to know who all those people are, but there's quite a few of them that are known for it. So I guess
Cheers.
if I can, I'll give you a heads up next time if I can.
okay. I wouldn't let D on my panel. Cool, very.
Devil dog's here. Uh-oh.
Wait a minute. I
Devil
didn't see
dogs,
Lemieux
dude.
didn't let
Oh shit.
anybody on his panel. Did he? Has he had people on his panel?
No, he don't like to talk to us. Just
Oh,
chat,
see, well then that's an irrelevant statement there, Amir, because you don't let people up on your panel. Hmm.
right? Hilarious too, yes. And I mean, I can understand once in a while when you get frustrated. We are in some frustrating times, y'all. And that's what we were talking about at Carl's. We all need each other right now.
Well, you always say that.
It's
You know,
true.
I gotta admit,
I know. It is
unfortunately,
true.
Okay, I need y'all.
I need y'all to.
I agree. I mean, I wouldn't be here if I didn't like it.
Yes, she got her homework done. She was talking about this big book with all these DVDs that she's got to do just for all of us.
See, Echo, there is homework. You see what Double Dog's saying? That's
Yes, I did. I was pumping up my class.
Hey,
Right? I
Cora.
told you guys you better be ready for class, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I did a couple times.
Yeah, and I know this is preaching to the choir, but um I really see, hey Chris, good to see you, that as a way to put our country as it should be by the Constitution, by the law of the land, not the sea. We don't live in the sea, in common law. And it's,
I'd
it can,
like to be under the sea in an octopus in the shade.
yeah,
I know that, Devil Dog. I mean, yeah, it's not for you, but I mean, I'm so thankful for your support, and I'm thankful for anybody that comes in the Constitution class that I'm trying to do and teach. And teach sounds like a weird word, but like I'm willing to be vulnerable and admit I don't know all this stuff, and I don't know a lot of things I'd like to know, but let's learn it together, let's check it out. Let's see what we've
yeah,
been missing. Let's see what they've been hiding from us. Those fuckers.
exactly.
Whatever they tell us we don't need to know, or this is irrelevant or whatever. I mean, I want to look all the more. I want to see what their grand juries, grand juries. The only movie that even shows a pop-up grand jury that I know about is um 12 Angry Men. Okay, there's two. And then a supposedly, I think, Miracle on 34th Street also mentions about grand juries. And one of the things that I think is really cool that um, some people have a support group that is like this, where if you ended up in a courtroom, your people would show up for you, and you would be able to tell the judge you have your own grand jury. How is it that we're not all working our asses off to get that? Like I want that.
Yes,
That's life goal right there. Life goal number one, to have 12 people that will show up for me, or 13, something like that. I don't even know. What is it, Bonnie? You need 13 with yourself or 12 with yourself?
12 for the grand jury. Then you have the alternates,
And
two alternates,
and
right? From what I
well,
understand.
I think that's for assembly, but grand jury requires more, like 27 or 28. Isn't that right? Maybe. I don't know. There's assembly and there's grand jury. And,
Grand jury is smaller. The grand jury is smaller.
I think it's assembly smaller.
No, the assembly is bigger.
I think the
He does.
assembly is 13 and the grand jury's 27 or 28. Plus investigators makes it 31 or 32.
I don't
Something.
know. That we're learning. We're still learning.
Oh my
And
gosh, why don't we
it
know this
is,
by now?
I don't know. It is a lot to learn. And I have it written down. D-Dog's saying 25. I don't remember the 25.
That'd be
So
a petite grand
that's
jury.
what
That'd
I
be a petite.
understood. For the state, you need 35 people assembly.
Exactly, for the state. Now, when I say 13, that's for the county assembly, 25 for a petite grand jury for your county. But you have county and you have state, right? You have two different things there. So where's
Yes.
Sean Stryker? Sean,
And
seriously.
D-Dog's saying 25, and 4 of them are special investigators. I want to be an investigator. I always wanted to do that.
The next
So,
Columbo, ladies and gentlemen, right here.
did you see what Hilarious 2 said?
No, I can't see anything on this. I'm on
By the
phone.
Constitution designed from the Word of God to create a nation under God. Amen.
In Deuteronomy, you've got God telling Moses, this is how many, 50 under 10 or over 500. I like the numbers are outlined because man has proven again and again they need to be ruled. They want a king by God. They don't want to just run themselves. So they have to look to a government to help them out.
Well, we have to
So
have a government of sorts.
I guess. I guess we do.
Yes, because we would be taken over if we didn't. But
Fine. Fine.
but the the goal is to keep them in check. That we are the ones like, okay, what's happening now? The countries who are making threats against us or whatever, is the people then tell the government what to say and what to do, not how
Right.
it's being done now. And
Right.
even over the military, it's to
Yes.
say that, hold up.
Hold the
What you're
phone.
doing right now
Hold
is
the
not working. You are pissing people off. And
or
this
you're breaking
stops.
your oath. You're breaking your constitutional
Yes,
oath.
yes. You're committing some things that you could
Yeah.
be held very accountable for.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here to make sure that you are held accountable for those things. Hilarious too wants to be an investigator too. Woohoo! There's 2 investigators.
Who does? Hilarious too.
We're gonna need a posse. I'll be part of the posse.
Yes, I need you guys to be in my posse. What if I call and I'm like, hey, I'm in jail. I need every one of your fucking asses to show up. You better show up. That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
like I said,
I'm
the
showing
article
up.
of the Confederation gave more power to the states. Exactly. Kiss off. What do you mean? Who cares?
Could you elaborate on that, please?
We care. We care about this country. We care about our future generations. We care
We don't
that,
know what she's talking about. She could be talking about somebody's.
right. It could be
Carol-
someone in chat.
Carolina, kiss off. Anybody else who snuck in here? Hilarious too. G-Ma Merkel. I'm kind of
You
with
Well,
her on that.
guys, we had Jeff Riddle.
G-Ma
All I
Merkel,
want from this government
Carolina.
is security on the borders. That's all I want from my government.
Well,
Guys, guys.
yeah. Decat said, honor God and honor your parents, and your life shall belong in this land. That's all I can say. I believe it. I don't think I have to.
What?
I don't know. kiss off said, and no, you don't have to.
What does she mean?
I guess be involved. And some people aren't meant to be involved. And I understand that totally. But some are, and it's really hard finding those that are. Gma Merkel said we secured our border before government. True. And that's why I believe the Texas Rangers need to come back. I think that whatever Abbott has got going on, it's not working. And I understand. I mean, when I called Paxton's office and they told me it is a federal.
Without a strong military in this world, we'd be overrun.
Yes. And so where is our military? Why aren't they? We've got National Guard down there from different
The
states.
military exists. That's why we're not overrun. They know it's there.
I believe that is true.
But then the Border Patrol and the sheriffs are the big thing. All the border sheriffs should be standing up for their counties, and they're not. There's a
Well,
lot of
didn't we all
land.
think
Yeah, we
that?
know there's a lot of corruption and people placed in just the right places. That's
Didn't we
the
think
thing that's the part of this country that needs cleaned out.
in the elections they were going to bring COVID back and tell us you had to have your mask to fucking vote and all this shit, and that didn't happen. Okay, that didn't
Mm-hmm.
happen. So to me, I don't know about you all, but for me, that was a huge relief because I really thought that it was going to be like Nazi Germany here again in Humboldt County. And it not happening was very telling to me. Like something is going on for sure. There's
Yeah,
no doubt about it. Because if they could, they would have did it.
and that's true, Echo. He was an accessory. I think it was all for show to make us feel like he was putting less pressure on us. But in doing that, but even without him doing that, they were coming across the northern border. They had a plan. They were all carrying a sheet of paper with what state they were going to. They knew exactly what they were doing. So I can't blame any of the governors of those states, really. I mean, didn't Arizona, they were busing them too? There were, they've been bussed all over the place. Some of them went to New York from the northern border, but wanted to get to California. For whatever reason, a whole lot of them want to get to California. I don't know what's going on there, that maybe there's more.
Sanctuary.
Yes. And so I don't know, but I just know that there's been a lot of bad people that have come into this country. And one of the things that someone told me once was that we only fall if it happens from within. And so that to me is why going constitutionally is so important, because within means right here, not outside sources. You know, I don't know what Putin's doing. I don't know if he's just
To me, it looks like the Biden administration is trying to start a war.
yes, exactly. And
I
that's
mean,
what,
it's typical to liars and thieves that I've known. They'll burn the place down before they're held accountable.
yeah,
Never give up on the lie, never admit, never say they're sorry.
yeah. And somebody showed a video with a whole mob of them coming in now before the inauguration. I don't
G-Ma
know.
must be talking to me. Yeah,
Could
a
it
little
be
bit.
CGI? Could it be CGI?
Right. Or is it footage from a couple of years ago? We don't
Right.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to really use some discernment, I guess,
Yeah.
whenever you're looking at those things because we don't know.
Exactly.
There's so many things that we don't know. That is it for
Random.
show? Is it for whatever? Is it to put it to try and put fear? That is the biggest thing is do not let the fear take over. Don't yeah, don't let the fear take over and stand up for yourself.
I'm just shaking in my boot.
Yep, money is louder than law. That's the truth. There he is. Hey, Wildlife,
Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
What's
how are
up,
you?
what?
Quite splendid, quite splendid.
The cat
Mm.
said Humboldt County is a state in itself and exempt from some restrictions. Their growers are exempt from any state restrictions. Yeah.
Well, I wonder why. A lot of the YouTubers are fearmongers. You'll put them out of a job. They're going to be out of a job real fucking soon. They're all about to get called out on their bullshit.
Not true.
Lock and
I
load.
have seen, I don't know how many times, World War III has started. World War III is coming. It's it. The end is near. Oh my God, the sky is falling. I've seen so much of that for so long now that nobody's going to believe it if it does happen.
Right. Until it's honest. And, but what can we do?
What am I? I don't know. Maybe I'm dreaming about something. G-Ma's trying to make a point I don't get, but I like dreaming.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. My daughter's here. Let me mute.
I
Woohoo!
love
Party
dreaming.
time!
I don't think people stop dreaming. When you ask people to dream, sometimes they'll tell you all the reasons why they can't dream. Have you ever noticed that? What life? I'll bet you're a
Yeah,
big dreamer. You're a dreamer, aren't you?
I like to think I am. It
Can
may
you
be
put
a,
your hands on your head? Oh no!
but yeah,
I
dreamers,
said,
thinkers,
oh no. Yep.
everything they give us and put in front of us is meant to put us in a box or keep us in a box. They don't want people to think outside the box or think for themselves, be a dreamer.
No, not at all. That's why school, right? Fluoride and shots. I mean, if only people that think that these vaccines are good for them actually looked at the data. To me, all we have to say is to anybody, I don't care who they are, all you have to say is, well, let's look at the data from the Amish. They don't vaccinate at all, right? You gonna fucking argue with me now, you dipshit? I'm sorry. I'm just losing my patience as they kill off my community. Because when I look in the obituaries, when I look at people that are dying suddenly and their families are shocked, that are people that are under 30, 40 years old. And it's a lot of native and tribal people. It's like, oh, they must have brought the clinic to the reservation that day. You know what I mean? It's like getting really sick. It's really
What I
sick.
know is that all of my friends have gone to the hospital for help and didn't live very long afterward.
Yeah, that too. I mean, healthcare is like saying women's reproductive rights. Oh, you mean baby murder? Is that what you mean when you say women's reproductive rights? You mean baby murderer? I'm sick of it. I got no. I'm out of fucks. I don't care. People are crazy. I'm not calling. I'm calling bullshit on all of it. You twist the words. You twist the truth. You say one thing is this. It's really not. It's that.
Well,
Enough.
that's a
Enough.
perfect summary. Uh, would you support somebody in a trade or a craft that was an open hypocrite?
Hmm.
Like, could you give an example?
Um, just I don't know, somebody being a hypocrite about something that you don't like. Would you support it?
I try very hard not to be hypocritical, so probably not. It's a turn off, like an
What is
I
ego.
mean, I don't want to. Here's what I'll say. I don't think people should be incarcerated unless they've hurt somebody else. And I think anybody has a right to put whatever they want in their body. Beyond that, ask that. What's that question again?
the
What
only?
would I
I
support?
just said would you support any business or craft that was an open hypocrite? And the only reason I said that is because
Hmm.
of the oath that these people take is called the Hippocratic Oath.
Oh, gotcha. Hmm.
You know, it's spelled a
Well,
little bit different, but I mean, it's got the pretty much the same meaning.
well, as a cannabis user who's been persecuted by the church and told that it's, devil's lettuce, and we're going to mock the verse in the Bible about the herb is the green herb of the field is medicine. Thy leaves shall be the fruit is your food and thy leaves shall be your medicine. But we're going to give a hard pass to big pharma. I mean, sorry, credibility lost, you know, lost. Not taking that persecution any longer. I think that they're the ones making a mockery of God and what he said is put on earth for our healing. I mean, come on. These people are injecting people with poison and we're sitting here arguing about weed. I'm just over it. Over it.
What's up,
We entered
Steve?
we entered the Looking Glass a long time ago.
The government, the U.S. Corporation of America decides what drugs we can and can't use and what drugs are good and what drugs are evil. And all the while they're poisoning people with the water and the air and the food. And there's just a hard pass. These people get a hard pass. It's ridiculous. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the talk about hypocritical.
Hey,
Those are
Steve,
to me, those are modern day Pharisees. Modern day Pharisees.
credit death changed years ago. Hypocrisy is the most obvious sign in political circles. Yep. I don't know what y'all were talking about when I was gone, but yep.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Uh-oh. Think for yourself, Dima. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've never been much of a follower or a leader. I didn't want to lead or follow. Walk next to me. We'll see it together.
Do you need the link again, Dee?
She got a little
You see,
dose of 3G.
I think you got a little upset and frustrated and pushed the wrong button.
There's Sean.
Mm.
Sean, how
Sean says
many?
I'm on point. Now I'm scared. What'd I say?
I don't know. How many? How many for a county?
Whoopsie. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That- He's just jumping around. We need a nation of leaders side by side, not followers. Amen.
Hey.
You making me sound like a tramp whore, woman. He's
Can
just
you?
jumping around like a whore.
No. My goodness, jumping around is associated with that, really?
Hey, look at all my apples, you guys.
Nice.
Woo-wee. Carolina, thank you. She taught
I'm
me how
not
to
sure I
can.
want to see your apples.
What?
That is awesome.
I know. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
I'm glad you have room to store it. I don't.
Yes. I have a lot of room. Making
There
it.
you
I'm
go.
working with what I got. Let me turn this
You know,
camera
I've
off.
never
Ah,
liked to
your
like
camera.
tell people what to
That's
do or what not to do, to be honest. I don't like to tell people how to live their life or what not to do.
Right?
I would
Yeah.
rather tell them how I would do it. So I've always tried to word things like, well, I use duct tape to fix this on that, and if they decide to do it that way, that's fine. It's not, I'm not trying to like make people do what I think or think the way I think or anything. I've never been about that. That's what trips me out about people that are like they try to force their ideals on you. That's a big warning sign to me.
One upping and know it alls. They're very annoying right now. Just saying.
I'll say this much. If somebody's got a monstrous ego, they better have something to back it up or they're losing me right off the bat. You know, there's some people I think that, like Ted Nugent has a massive ego. All right. But the guy's not lying. All right. He's living that, you know. If there's anybody that could be out there cocky and stuff, it's that guy. But you get somebody that's really on the lower scale of life and they act that way, then they just look like a fool.
Where's my apron?
You see that, D?
No.
27 plus 4 starts your state. Fill in your counties at 13 a pop until three-fourths of the county are set.
See, it's very confusing. But the common law stuff, it lines up with Devil Dog too and other people. And the problem is it also can line up with some people that are trying to misguide you. So something that I thought was interesting was Devil Dog said the other day to me that Carl Miller was a sovereign citizen. And I was like,
Yeah,
"Are you sure?" And he was like, "Yes. Oh, totally." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I don't know if
I
Sean knew
believe
that or
believe I've told you I met him, right?
you what?
I believe I told you I met Carl Miller, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
probably.
In fact, what it was my mom being a police officer for like 20 years. I was aware of this guy that if he was pulled over anywhere in the state of Michigan, the police officer on scene would be contacted and told to let that guy go. All right. You want no part of that. Let that guy. And that guy, I talked about him for years. Nobody believed me, most people didn't comprehend what I was trying to tell them. You know, anyways, I'd heard about this guy growing up, and I've actually heard something on the radio before and on the scanner. But later on, I met this dude, and he this was early '80s, and he sat down and spent the time with me enough to tell me and some other people my age about how taxes were illegal. All right, how the government is way out of control. He told me how, and that's when I kind of like put two and two together and realized what it was is he would drive around the state of Michigan without a license plate, without a license, without insurance, whatever the hell, nothing. All right, and he knew the law so well that if that was challenged in court, he'd sue the pants off the courts and win every time. So they were just let that guy go. Let him do what he wants. Right? Don't mess with Carl Miller.
We we had a guy here like that. He didn't um have any of that. And so there's some people and they're a militia. And so throughout the years, I've always heard that that was a really bad thing. But now, getting to know the Constitution, no, it's not.
But
It's,
I'm with Sean though. I don't ever remember hearing that Carl Miller was a sovereign citizen. I don't remember that.
It's the wording. It's the wording and the terminology. You have to know what you're doing, because you can say the
yes,
same words, rearrange them into a totally different sequence and a different sentence, and they mean something totally different. Like the term sovereign citizen, it's almost kind of like a contradiction in itself, because if someone is actually truly sovereign, they can't be a citizen of a land. You know, they're sovereign, they're free of the land, free to travel and do as they please, as long as you're not causing any loss, injury, or harm to anyone else. You know,
exactly. It's the same with
once you take on that term citizen, it's basically like a member of, you know.
yeah,
And that's how they get a lot of people, because they start using that term and think sovereign citizen. And, you know, like you've got people like the people that y'all mentioned it, you know, they studied it, knew the terminology, and know how to navigate through the game of court.
The
yeah.
grammar.
You know, whenever you're courting somebody, you got to be cordial, you got to be nice, you got to say the right things, you know, when you're courting.
And you gotta know the grammar.
Yes.
You know,
Listen to you.
but it's just my opinion.
Sean said that SPLC says I'm a sovereign citizen. I laughed at reading that. Sovereign citizen, ruler subject, ergo, you just told the cop you're dumb. What?
That's
You,
true too, Cole. A lot of people learn that lesson the hard way.
you can't be a contradiction.
I forget the exact term it is, but yeah, it's like I don't know.
I think it's a flesh and blood. You are an American. Yes. And um, that's if you ever have to go to court, you're
Mhm.
saying are a Texan. Yeah. Um,
Blackbird.
for some reason, that's a different thing. Or a Californian.
See, me, I got to
Um,
be pretty specific. If I say I'm a Georgian, they say, well, the state or the country.
you are a flesh and blood man living on Georgia. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Not
I'm
one.
a
Bonnie.
ghost. I'm a ghost driving a skeleton, riding a rock, speeding through space.
I'll
Don't
notarize that.
forget your towel. Bonnie, did that Texas thing die?
No.
Oh, is it still ramped up?
Yes.
Because I thought if the election went poorly, meaning Trump didn't win, that they were going to have a lot of traction, and that perhaps if they Trump did win, it was going to kind of die. But you're
No.
seeing it still because it probably has some money, huh? Who's behind it? Do you know who's behind it? That's what we need to find out.
There is a YouTube channel. It is called Texas. Um, oh my goodness. Texas Nationalist something. Texas Nationalist.
Something, woman. Come
I
on.
can't remember what it. And um, so and if they ask for donations, number one. If they ask for any money, get out of it because it's not legit.
Right. The truth is
And
free, people. The
yes,
truth is free. The
and
truth is free.
but they are very heavy into the Texit program. They keep having um, these little. It's not really protests. I guess it would be rallies. Hey Donna, good to see you. And
Behind
uh,
Donna.
it's when they have a speaker, and the speaker gets up there and is talking to everybody. Um, I've seen it in San Antonio. I've seen it in Dallas. Um, it, they're they're still pushing it, and I just don't see that that is going to work. I don't see that it's a good thing for Texas to separate from the Union. Not because the whole reason is because we are not prepared for it. I mean, you would have to set up your own, to become a country, you would have to set up your own defense system first, your, your, your trade market, your everything. I mean, yes, we have a lot of resources here, but
Nope, I
it's
say we all stick together, and then we take over Canada, and then Mexico, and all the Central American countries. Then we go down to South America, and we take that. Then we make it all one big thing called Americas.
The
Trump,
united we stand, right?
I'm
Amen. United we stand.
Donna.
That's the thing.
sorry,
That's
my
a
George
slogan
Patton.
for a reason.
You know, at a certain period of time, Texas was its own country, its own entity. Um,
Yeah,
I think Sam Houston was its first president
yep,
when I think it was pretty much the People's Republic of Texas. I think they shortened it to Republic of Texas. You know, pre World
yes.
War
Are
II
you in
days.
Texas? What life?
No, no, I'm
No,
not.
No. Where are you at?
Georgia.
George,
Oh, that's right. I knew that. That's right. Right on.
Flew over
How is
Yeah,
Texas.
you
Never been
Georgia?
through Texas.
How's
definitely
Georgia
need to
doing
fix
since the
this first.
hurricane? I know you guys.
Well, it's
It,
matter of fact, tomorrow will be day 60, 2 months in after Helena hit us. And as far as power that could be restored and internet that could be restored, it's a lot of stuff still left to clean up. A lot.
is that
That's if the
right?
bad
Yeah.
guys do it. That's if the bad guys do it hilarious too. We're not the bad guys. We'll get
I
them to
need to make
join us.
some more update videos and put them out.
Do you
yeah,
stream?
I make shorts. I don't really do
Uh
like
huh.
videos or like
Yeah.
panels like this. I just put out little shorts and stuff locally or what I find interesting.
I didn't know that. Oh, could someone drop his link, please? I need to
oops,
get that.
I didn't
Hmm.
know either. I just stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. That's how I learned all this stuff.
we're all alive. If we're typing or talking, we're alive. Oops,
Watt's a lot smarter than he sounds.
he is. For
I don't know to I don't know to thank you or to challenge you to a duel.
That's the
No
correctest thing.
nunchucks though. No nunchucks. Everything else is fair game.
Yeah, right. He'd kick your ass, probably.
He's
Pretty
got too many
scary looking.
accessories.
Hmm.
Even his
But
camo's a weapon.
Georgia, I mean, you fuck around and find out with the South. So I don't know. I wouldn't mess with that either.
Yeah, I think
I wouldn't
Georgia
mess
gets a
with the
bad rap.
South.
Most people think of when they think of Georgia, they think of the current state of Atlanta. You know, the whole state ain't
Mm.
like that. Just like a
Not
lot of states get
mafia.
a bad rap because of their capitals, or
Yeah.
yes,
Smooth.
Austin.
There's
Carolina.
government and then there's mafia. And then there's
Miss
we
me.
the people.
but I mean, dealing with the same stuff y'all are dealing with. It's a pretty common theme across the board. You know,
Yes,
Do you
One
watch
might
your
pay a little
local
bit.
meetings, Watt, or have you been to any local meetings?
Not really recently.
Mm-hmm.
Since the hurricane, I've been to some in
Mm-hmm.
the past, but I need to get
Yeah.
more into it.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you know if your local community streams your local meetings? Because that's a little easier too. If you can
what do you
just,
mean?
do you know if they stream your local meetings? If you can like catch them online?
Um, Sometimes, yeah.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's kind of like after the fact. They'll upload it.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I mean, if it's something real pressing, they'll stream it.
Hmm.
They
Oh, they
they've
don't do
got
it on the
like
regular though. They're not doing it on the
sometimes, yeah.
regular.
It
Hmm.
just depends. Just depends on what the issue is. Every topic is something important inevitably because it's going to be something that comes into play. But
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to mute this. This is for Kiss Off. Here comes the train.
Oh, I thought you were fixing to holler.
Who, me? No?
too much insulation, I can't hear it.
Well, it's a coming. I was just giving you a heads up. This guy's loud too. There,
Where's
open the
Sean
window.
going? I seen something. What's going
He's
on? I
eating
can't go
cereal.
back in this chat. Hmm.
I think he's getting ready for work.
Oh
That's what
yeah,
he.
he does work a lot.
There it
Yes.
is. I heard it.
There's the train. It's coming. It's a coming. It's rolling around the bend, people.
That one was horn happy. All right.
Horn happy. Hmm.
Yeah, he's blowing that horn all the way down. I heard him miles away.
the
Well,
cat
maybe
had
he's seen something.
the cat had his local election in southeast Georgia today.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I wonder if there's still county governments that are not streaming their meetings online, and that's bullshit. They should all be streaming their meetings online.
Yeah.
And if anybody isn't getting their meetings streamed online, then they should be complaining and demanding because they're all about, oh, even the
Hey,
poor
Rabbit.
deserve to have internet. Everybody should have internet. You got the fucking internet. Show the meetings. Our local supervisors took the law library out. They're hiding information on our watch. That can't be. We have to call them out for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely not paying them to do that.
Well, they should be.
Look, coyote.
I'm gonna have dinner with my husband, y'all. I will be listening. I love you, Bonnie. Camo, it was really fun today. And What Life, I'll be hanging out with you guys, but I'm gonna go stare my husband in the eyes, googly eyes, and tell him I love him and all that
Aw.
stuff.
That's what's up.
Enjoy your dinner.
That's what's up. Love you guys. Bye
Sounds
bye.
like a mushy
Thank
dinner to
you.
me.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye. She always has to rub it in.
Yeah, they should definitely live stream all those type of meetings. I mean, if you want to talk about transparency, that's the easiest way to do it. Everybody's not able to make it to those type of meetings.
Yeah. I'm going tomorrow night.
I bet it'll be a packed house, I'm sure.
Yes, it will. Hey, Carolina.
It's
I
like,
keep trying to highlight comments thinking I'm on my panel, Bonnie. I keep touching the comments thinking I could highlight
Oh,
it
I
and
know.
somebody comes in.
you put that thing out, man. The thing's too strong.
There ain't
I
no
do the
such thing
same
in my
thing.
book, brother. I have not ever found one of those yet.
What else you got on the docket?
Case number 1134. Yeah, what
All
haven't we
parties
talked about?
involved, step forward.
Were you a bailiff or something?
I could have been. Maybe I was in my past life.
I just recently watched a return to the abandoned Rothschild mansion video.
Mm.
These people did one a couple of years ago and were inside it and got to look at the opulence, firsthand. But I just recently watched their new one where they return. And when they got to the premises, you could already tell there was something different. There was new cameras up. And when they finally got to the building, and they got up on the roofs, they found the paperwork where all of the properties were in the custody of a bailiff. So they are under court control, all the Rothschild holdings.
Is that those type of videos where like people go out and explore like abandoned stuff or like old houses?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Then
like
you're,
watching those videos.
yeah, I watch a bunch of them. This particular group covers Europe pretty good, but yeah, that was
Yeah,
interesting to
I
see.
do find that interesting. I like to do stuff like that, but I'd be too worried about getting in trouble, you know? Be
I
my
did a
luck.
whole lot of it. Michigan used to be full of abandoned structures. I mean, I mean full. I've been in I've been in 5 different abandoned mental institutions in the state. I've been all
Mm.
over giant factories in Detroit, and even around this area there was all types of gravel pit buildings and industrial buildings, all kinds of stuff that were left for years, man. You could if you were homeless in Michigan, you used to be able to find shelter anywhere. Now they've torn a lot of that down. Most of that's gone.
There's the not too far from me is a town called Milledgeville, Georgia, and at the time when this particular mental facility was open, it was one of the biggest, if not the biggest in the world at its time. I mean, it's a huge campus down there, and I love to go down there and tour it. But I
All
don't.
mental, all the mental institutions that I snooped around in, they were all the buildings were linked by tunnels underground. I mean, you could go to almost any building by tunnel underneath of them here. There's one
Oh,
in
I'm sure.
Lansing, there's one in Traverse City, there's one in Lapeer, there's one in Pontiac. They're all over the place here, but they're all basically the same kind of deal where they could transport, you know, captives underground without the public having to see it and stuff. And there's more. They have their own mortuaries and their own little, commissaries, and they had every. It was like a miniature city. Really is what those
That's
really
how it
were.
is. Yeah, there's houses and everything. It's like whole neighborhoods inside this campus. It's huge,
Yeah, they
and it's
even used to grow
also
their own food. In the 1800s, they would have all the patients out in the fields, working.
and some some people wouldn't know they Atlanta wasn't always the capital of Georgia. At one time, Milledgeville, Georgia, was also the state capital, and there's a huge the old governor's mansions down there. It's a huge house. I like to tour that sometime.
That's interesting stuff. See, that's the kind of stuff I really dig. I don't
Oh,
know.
dude, if they let me, I'd tour it all.
Well, down there by you, you guys got star forts down there, down in
Yeah,
Louisiana and Texas and Georgia and
we
all that.
got
And I
we
want
got one
to
in
spend,
Georgia.
yep, I want to spend the night in those. I want to stay overnight over there.
Well,
What?
see if I can't get us into one in Georgia. See if I can't pull a few strings.
Craig says he knows the way in. He knows the place I'm talking about in Louisiana. We could hit a couple of them. Don't even really need a boat. Could do it by land.
Yeah,
That's why I want to go to Georgia. All the history there. All the uh,
Fort Pontchartrain du Detroit.
it looks so beautiful there.
I like it. Shit, I could win the world's biggest jackpot lottery tomorrow night, and I still wouldn't move anywhere else. I'd travel, but I wouldn't move anywhere else.
Yep.
I see what you're saying there too, Wayne. I gotta, attribute some of the craziness of this world to something called deinstitutionalization. When in 2008, they think it was, they finalized the closing of all the sanitariums, mental institutions all over the world. Michigan, I think, finished up in 2008. But yeah, there's a lot of crazy out in the world because they were all let go. All right, they were given housing, and they were supported by the government and allowed to reproduce and all kinds of craziness. But there's some sad things about those sanitariums. One of the things that always gets me about those is these massive graveyards of just little. The one here closest to me has got little square marble blocks with numbers on them. Hundreds of patients. They're forgotten. I mean, eventually, I'm sure they're just going to build right over them, but you don't know their names. They were put in those places and
Was it
forgotten.
just a number? A number on the
Just
headstone?
a number. Just a number on the headstone. That's all it is. I've seen
There
that
had to
in
be some
more than
type of
one
way to
place.
track it down.
Yeah,
But
but they're still
places like
sitting
that,
out
it's easy
there.
for them to say, "Oh, we lost the paperwork," or you know,
Well, they're not maintained either. The one I'm talking about closest to me is near a riverbed, and it's being eroded, and nobody cares for it, and most people don't even know it's there, and it's away from all the rest of the land that has been reutilized. So there's hundreds of people forgotten in a field. It's just
just imagine all the ones we don't even know about. You know,
yeah.
we probably went across ones and didn't even know it. Would have had no idea.
That too, Devil Dog. I've seen all that. They're all linked to the boiler rooms and stuff. I've been in the duct work and all that. I was pretty thorough checking out some of those places. Found some cool stuff in those places too.
You know what was
Anyway,
even creepy that you wouldn't think it would be? Um, the Lexington that's parked down in, um,
the USS Lexington.
yes, it's right outside of Corpus Christi. And when you go down to the medical part of it, it is, it's, well, the whole thing is creepy, but down there really is.
I've laid inside of a mortuary drawer and closed it just to see what it was like.
Oh my goodness.
Those places are a trip because usually the paint is curling off the walls and the floors and the ceiling everywhere. So even if it
What's
was
that?
tunnels that were painted, the
Oh
paint will
yeah,
curl up. So everywhere you step, you hear crunch, crunch. You look at a wall and it looks like feathers because the paint curled up so much. Those places are a trip.
oh yeah. Camden County, Georgia, where nightmares become dreams and dreams become reality. It's like I don't know the specific number, but I know there's over 100 different castles and old world style forts
Wow.
here in the state. Different places scattered around.
Donna's in Georgia too,
Oh yeah,
Northeast.
Georgia strong.
We
I like it.
have a lot of Georgians here.
We had to recruit some people, man. Texas was taking over. It was getting too many
Oh,
delegates.
whatever.
I got too many counties. It's hard to compete.
So remember when they were tearing down all the monuments, all the leftists decided that the Civil War statues and everything had to go years ago. They
Yeah,
started tearing that down, and I started making big, long Facebook posts about the only monument that needs to be torn down in this country is the Georgia Guidestones. And I went into deep description of what I knew of the Guidestones, and I did that a couple times over the years. All I'm saying is I have an alibi. I wasn't anywhere near Georgia when that was blown up.
I've been there before.
I was there in the 80s. But
This
not
was
since.
Yeah, Jack.
this
Good
is
to
like the
see you.
late 2000s for me.
So I don't get real upset about the statues coming down.
You shouldn't destroy history, except when it's totalitarian New World Order bullshit like them George's Guidestone. What? Look at that. Miss Metal done changed her name to Billy.
Well,
I love
and I
Red
mean, the
pill.
monument. Anyway, Kim, good to see you. The monument, I can understand that, and I guess because it's a national park is why they haven't taken it down. It kind of surprises me that it's a national park.
What's that?
The um the monument that the early settlers put up, I think it's in Massachusetts. I could be wrong.
Oh
Um,
yeah, Plymouth Rock.
the documentary from Monumental, the documentary called Monumental, and it has it, and it tells it. This monument has everything you need to know to continue civilization. Uh-oh.
No, that was the Georgia Guidestones. It had all the New World Order rules. Keep
No, this is
maintain and lower the population to 500,000 or 500 million.
right, but this is completely different. This is to tell us here in America how to continue on. It's talking about liberty. It's talking about
Okay,
Christianity.
so it's an
Talking
older
about,
site.
yes. Well, I don't know. I don't know how old the Georgia Guidestones were.
That was
1979 they were commissioned and
yeah,
started and finished it by 1980.
Okay, then this is a lot older than that.
yeah.
Um,
The Guidestones were New World.
Yeah, Mr. Christian.
Like they used the term old world a lot. You know, what was the old world? When did the old world end? When did this new world begin? If you're speaking of an old world, then we have to be in a new world.
You know we're all from back in the 1900s now, so we're kind of old world.
Really, I do consider myself a Dapper Dan man, so I could have fit in.
here it is.
Oh no.
Um,
Even like with certain cities and certain monuments, they say founded in. That would lead me to believe that when you
They
founded
think
it,
they
you
just,
found it, and it wasn't really necessarily created. You just found something.
yeah, I mean, they just found a country that was full of Native Americans, had giant cities all through Ohio, and I mean, but yeah, they found the new world.
It's just their concept of time or how they tell us time. It just I don't know enough to call it how it could really be, but it just don't seem right. You know, um, that just happened so fast. You know, from what they tell us, you know, a couple hundred years, man.
there it is. Hey, Billy. Jeannie, good to see you.
Kurt Cameron, isn't he? Didn't he play in some family show or something on TV?
I know I've heard of him.
What's that? What was the question?
She just posted a link, Monumental with a guy named Kurt Cameron. I think he played as a child actor in some TV show or something.
Could be. It does have a certain ring to it.
Family ties, Amir says.
There you go.
Okay.
Man, should have been the final answer on Jeopardy. You'd have had it.
Well, it's pretty cool. I mean, if you get a
I,
chance, watch that video because it. I mean, I can't even explain it. It's not really round. It's like, but all the way around it and on top of it, it has the whole
Could you pull
everything.
up a picture of it now, or no?
A picture of the monument.
Yeah.
Okay, let me mute and get
So
to it.
I tried to click on something a while ago, and it sent me into a whole time warp.
Okay, hang on.
that would explain why you're so dapper. You're out of your element.
It's like a flash forward. It's like I don't know. It's weird. I was just watching this documentary. I forget what it. It's kind of like the secrets of the Vatican or something like that. They were
Yeah.
talking of these. Man, I can't remember his name, but he had this device, and it was called the Chrono device or Chronovision or something like that. And it wasn't really like a time machine, but you could basically see like a screen, an event or a time in history. Like you could see and hear it, but you couldn't
Oh,
interact with it.
I have seen that somewhere. What did you say that was in?
Uh, I forget the documentary. It was basically like a Secrets of the Vatican or some little documentary
Yeah,
like that.
like if the world really did hit the fan and all that, I want to go into the National Archives, the Smithsonian Archives, the Vatican Archives, and then out to Area 51. We're going to find out everything they've hidden from us.
Okay, this is. Can y'all see it? It's showing.
Oh yeah, I see it. Oh, that thing is massive.
Yes, it's huge.
Okay, I was thinking like a marker or something.
Oh
Man,
no! And so I'm gonna start it with no sound, so you can see
man,
at the top that in each um, person sculpture has a meaning. And
face. Who is
yes,
the woman? Do you know who the woman is supposed to be? Or if I could say woman, it might not be. I don't know.
um, where God created.
Oh man,
What happened now?
they're shooting ships from the monument. Let's check that out.
Wait, that's an ad.
Oh,
Sorry about
that's a statue went postal.
Oh yeah,
Trinity
John. I didn't say
was
they
a
were
place
destroyed
that
in
one
1980. They were
saw.
finished in 1980.
See the Bible in her hand. The papers are opened.
Just
And they said,
amazing the detail they get in those sculptures and statues.
yes, the wisdom they want you to know. And the rest of these, each one weighing almost 20 tons,
Mm.
is tied to faith because faith is the beginning of it all.
And it looks, well, there's no houses directly around the guidestones, but it looks kind of similar. Like it's just in a place like kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I had a bullwhip for years, Al.
What does that say? McGarthy? Mayflower.
The transformation of the heart first. She has the 10 Commandments. The Bible.
Did he mention when it was made, or
Um,
might have missed it?
I'm not
What's the name of the site again?
monumental is You go to YouTube and you look for Monumental by Kirk Cameron or with Kirk Cameron,
I
and
would
this
put
is all in it.
monumental. I would put in my search monumental, Kirk, and then wiki,
Oh, it would
WAIK,
pop up, man.
and then you'll find out when it was built, what it represents, everything it says on it, the history of it. Everything will be right there on its own wiki page.
Evangelist.
Yeah, I mean it's
Real
pretty cool.
detailed. Heck, those guys got to be at least, I'll just say, we'll say they're 6 foot. So, I mean, it kind of puts you in respect of how tall that thing would be.
Yes.
Heck, that thing's 30, 35, 40 feet tall.
Yep.
Easy. Probably more.
And that's what when he went and he saw this, he was like, something's got to be done. And so he went and found this monument. And once he saw it and the man explained every detail of it to him, then he was like, this is what I'm teaching my children. This is what we have to live by. And it's, yeah.
There you go, Oops. I was never into any of those family shows.
That's true, Huckleberry. Tough time tearing that one down. Oh, I didn't know he passed away. Thank you, the cat. Anyway, I put the link. Hope y'all grab it or look it up.
Mercy.
Yeah, each one has a.
I'm guessing he goes to different monuments around the country.
I don't know. I just know of that one for sure. And it's just really good to watch.
It's like there's a big horse community, equestrian community in the area. And they just, over on the South Carolina side, they just had their, what do they call it? Like a steeplechase. It's like a Kentucky Derby, but a little bit smaller. They just had their fall version. But here in Augusta, if you go back and look at old documents and old paperwork from Augusta downtown, the Riverwalk, there used to be a huge horse track, a racetrack. I don't know, probably Civil War times, a little bit at post Civil War, that era. It was a huge horse track down there, right on the river.
That is something else. Horse tracks.
Yeah. Big
We
thing.
have it down at Matagorda. They still run the horses through the town, and I keep wanting to go see that, but they're just running loose with cowboys leading them, and it's a big thing down there.
Well, you like wild horses. I know I probably done told y'all before, but it's Cumberland Island, Georgia. They have the wild horses down there.
Yes.
And of course, there's not as many as what there used to be, but there's a lot of old documentation of travelers and stuff coming back hundreds of years ago and just these beautiful giant horses, just out there on the land, on the island.
Oh, man. Lots of history on these.
Now I
Another
have a Rolling Stone song in my head.
Huckleberry, they're all assless.
They are. I made a post about that. All chaps are assless. Don't have to define.
Who's that?
They have. Everybody calls them assless chaps, when in reality, there is no chaps out there that have asses in them. All right? They're all assless chaps.
Huh.
You don't have to define that part.
Definitely sounds like the formula for some chafing, though.
So y'all have a lot of missions there?
Yeah, there's some, yeah. I said
Oh,
there's over 100 different castles. There's the one, I forget exactly what city it's in, but it's been traced back to 800 or 900.
wow.
And it's way back.
That's older than me.
Not by much. You got lucky. It was a leap year. But like I don't know. It's a lot to see.
And so we have is it 5 or 7 missions in San Antonio? The Alamo was a mission. And then there's a whole trail of them. I can't remember the names of all of them. I know I toured them one time when I was pretty young, but
I was young once back in the 1900s.
history is here for you to know. Yep. And I hated history in school because I don't know, it just didn't seem like the real history. I've learned more about history in the past 5 years from all of y'all than I ever did in school.
Always love history. Even if they didn't tell me the right thing, it gave me enough knowledge to go out there and try to seek it on my own. You know.
Yes.
Don, do you have a hookup for those meatballs? Those things are good.
Yeah, you like the spicy meatball, huh?
I can get
Swedish,
you the recipe
Swedish
for a
meatballs.
Swedish meatball.
The
It's a
Swedish meatballs.
Swedish. It's a Swedish meatball.
I have a
Horse,
bunch of
horse,
friends that
horse. Swedish meatballs. I ain't had that in a long time. I need some of that in my life.
I don't think I've ever had them.
Oh, it's got this wonderful gravy on it with those egg noodles and big old
Yeah, I've
beef.
had that before. That's pretty good.
Mm.
Pretty hearty.
Today we're going to have the Swedish meatballs.
Why, yes, we do.
It's one of my friends in Sweden. She sends me elderberry jam and
Mm, some good stuff.
yeah,
Good for you.
true Annie had to. Mm. They have a lot of traditions there. There's one it's they make this ginormous horse out of hay or something, and at a certain time of year, and it seems like it's around Christmas, they set it on fire. And I can't remember the story of it. I'm sure it's out there on the internet somewhere. And but that's a big thing to them. And then
Where's that at? Where do they do that?
in Sweden,
Okay.
and
Sweden.
Summer's Eve is a really big thing for them too. When for us, it would probably be like spring, um, and they put they make the flowers that go around your head. They really get into it, and um,
Sounds like one of them cults to me.
it's not a cult; it's traditions, Carl.
Yeah,
If I ever meet you, we're going to spend a week on traditions.
Francisco, be sure to wear the flowers in your hair.
Yeah, I know. I'll have to
Found something. I don't know if this is what you're talking about. Put it in the back chat.
see.
But it could be something different.
Yes, that's it. And I can't say half of those words, so I'm not even going to try.
Let's see here.
I can't even say it's a
Westen
goat.
Wolken weisen wissen the Christmas song and het werd een goat. That's all I can translate.
I didn't know it was a goat. I thought it was a horse. Because she sent me a miniature one, and I always put it out at Christmas because it has red ribbons on it and stuff. And oh, wait, I lied. They don't burn them. Okay, wait. It's made of straw. It is erected each year by local community groups at the beginning of Advent over a period of 2 days. The goat, I can't say that word before it, has been the subject of repeated arson attacks despite security measures in a nearby fire station. The goat has been burned to the ground most years since its first appearance in 1966. As of 2023, 42 out of 58 goats have been destroyed or damaged in some way. Burning or destroying the goat is illegal. And the
Javelbakken.
Spirit Court of Appeal has stated that the offense should normally carry a 3-month prison sentence.
Right.
There's a whole lot of bad people in the world.
Man, they're not playing about the burning of the goat.
And so this one says 2 separate Yule goats been built in Gaville. I don't know.
What's going on, Yorga?
Natural Science Club of the School of Boston. So it is a Yule goat thing.
It is interesting to see the different types of celebrations or ceremonies or how people celebrated stuff in different parts of the country.
I eat goat.
I mean the world, I'm sorry, not the country.
I eat goat cheese, goat milk, goat meat.
And that's what I like whenever they're telling me the stories of their traditions and how they celebrate things. And I mean, even Canada, look at them. Their
Did you
Thanksgiving
just
is,
drop a hook in the water for Yorga?
Dee asked for the link.
Oh,
It's,
I don't know much about Canada. I'm not going even gonna lie. It's a mystery.
well,
We
their
still don't know.
Thanksgiving is a month before ours. And what
Well, you
else?
know, before it's been changed several times, but you know, like before President Lincoln, uh, what we consider like Thanksgiving was usually celebrated mid October, around the same time as the Canadian Thanksgiving. But I think it was during Lincoln's presidency that he changed it and he made it a national holiday.
Hmm.
I don't really do Thanksgiving, but I am thankful for all of you folks, or I wouldn't be talking to anybody today, probably at all. You know.
Thankful you're here.
Oh, wow. Hilarious, too. That's cool. Hillsdale College.
That sounds
And
familiar to me.
Hillsdale College offers a free course on the Constitution also.
Sounds familiar. Hillsdale.
Yep.
I wonder where that's at.
You know, when I lived down south in North Carolina, they closed an entire college campus and the exit off of I-40 that goes through there. It was called the Elon College, and because of a prediction that Nostradamus had made of a mass killing at this location somewhere on the globe, they got nervous and they closed it all. I remember that was in the mid '80s. They closed the whole schmeal down over a possible Nostradamus prediction.
Wow.
I don't know why I just remembered that when you were talking about Hillsdale College, but
What's up, Huckleberry?
We'll have to look into that. It does sound interesting.
President Trump will be the only president in the United States to serve 3 terms. History.
What's that now?
Kissoff said Trump will be the only president in the United States to serve 3 terms.
Actually, FDR did. He served 4 terms.
Mm.
He served the entire time duration of
The
for and
war.
during World War II.
Yes.
President Trump will be, after he's inaugurated, will be the second president in U.S. history to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. I think the first one was Grover Cleveland, the 22nd and the 24th president. That's a pretty interesting factoid.
All constitutional law. Hillsdale College for your education. Yep. I took that too. It didn't stick. Some of it did, but it's so hard. So, because of the corporation and the way they have done things for so long, is why you have to be careful with your language. Otherwise, it's just it's laid out there, simple terms, but because of the like even the justice system under the bar, it has all made it to where you have to kind of work through their system to make it work as it should. Does that make sense?
the corporation aspect of it, it fractured it so much now that there's a lawyer for everything. You know, just one
Yeah.
lawyer just don't cover the case. I mean, there's a lawyer for every aspect of everything, really.
Yes. Hello, Yorga and Blackwatch.
You know,
Financial lawyers, constitutional lawyers. You know, so much knowledge. It's just a lot. It's a lot to take in. It really is.
What's new, Yorga? I just talked to Blackwatch. What's new, Yorga?
Yes.
Hey, hey, I just want to say hi. I was just coughing for a second. So, like, muted my mic.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. I'm still around. I'm still vertical.
Still kicking.
Well,
Why do you say it
I
like
don't know about
that?
kicking, but I'm still vertical for the most part.
Why are you saying it like that? You been sick?
I've been terribly sick.
I
Sorry to
can
hear
hear
that.
something in your voice.
It's nothing. It ain't nothing. What are you talking about?
Right on. Well, if you were sick, I'd want you to get better quick.
And me likewise. Yeah, I want to get better too. But, you know, it might not be in the cards. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen in the next 3 weeks. We don't know. But I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm here. Hey, how's everybody doing?
That was like the fakest excitement I've ever heard.
Well, you know,
You're
I'm growing
trying,
a
I guess.
gigantic beard, man. I haven't cut my beard. I'm growing. You
Heck
want to
yeah,
see it?
no shave November. Yeah, let's see
You
that
want to see
beautiful.
it? You want to see the beard?
Nice.
Hey, well, I wasn't planning on it, but it just kind of came along.
I like it.
I like it.
I look like Grizzly Adams. Remember Grizzly Adams? He had a bear and stuff.
Hey,
I
nobody messed with
really
that guy.
wanted to. I wanted to be Grizzly Adams. All right.
I wanted
See?
to be Grizzly Adams.
I'm not
I
even
wanted to
joking.
be the guy in BJ and the Bear, right? I like a monkey in my trunk. My trunk.
He
I wanted to
had
be
the
that guy.
he had a bear, he had a cougar, he had everything.
Man, you think about like 70s TV shows and the guy you wanted to be. I wanted to be that guy with the freaking tractor trailer with a monkey in it. You know, a lot of people want to be like Burt Reynolds and you know, what was that thing called? It's called BJ and the Bear or something. I don't know what the fuck it's
I
called.
remember it. I do. He drove around in a semi truck and he had a monkey sidekick and a couple of gals that were like always his sidekicks too. Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
Clyde.
Oh, yeah.
Are you talking about the orangutan?
that was Clint Eastwood.
Yes, it was Clint
That's
Eastwood.
my turn, Clyde. Any which
I
way
want to
but
be that
loose
guy
and
too, man.
that was any which way you can and any which way you any
Right.
which way you can and there was oh man there was two of them and now I forget any which way you can and
That was the second one. And it was any which way you will or something. I can't remember.
I
But
totally
yeah,
screwed up.
I went to the movies and saw both of those.
Any which way but loose.
Any
And you
which
wanted to
any
be
which way but loose. I'm pretty sure.
and you
Yes.
wanted to be a Black Widow, didn't you?
Oh, God.
And his grandma was freaking like killed all of them.
Could you gentlemen excuse me for just a second?
I'm sorry, I'm talking too much, aren't I?
What? Why do you always say that?
Just
Because
because
I
I'm
do.
thinking, y'all get quiet. Continue on.
Now everybody's going to be real quiet.
What was? What? Wait a minute. What was? And I'm acting incredibly stupid right now. But what was that Burt Reynolds movie with the Trans Am?
Smokey and the Bandit, or
Smokey and the Bandit. Damn it! Yes, yes.
Smokey and the Bandit.
I liked Gator and White Lightning.
Gator and White Lightning were both good. And there was another one that I just looked up the other day ago. I was thinking that you came call. Daggone it. It was another movie.
The one that I recommended you watch was called The Swimmer with Burt Lancaster.
I know. I remember that. I remember that. But this is a different one. It had Burt Reynolds in it, and it
Well,
was
he
it was like
Heat,
Smoking the Bandit, but it was something different, and it was called something different,
the
and it wasn't
Cannonball
White
Run,
Lightning, and it wasn't
Cannonball Run, with Dom DeLuise and all that.
yeah, I know all those.
Or was it? You're thinking of? Okay, he had Heat. He had.
It was like a guy's name. It was like Hammer or something. You know, it's like it's Stroke or Ace.
Sharky's
Maybe that's
Machine.
what it was.
He had another one called Sharky's Machine.
Sharky's Machine. Yeah, I love Burt Reynolds. Toupee and all.
Stroke or Ace. That's what G-Ma Merkel just said. Probably that.
You know, they had to glue that toupee on his head.
Was that the one you're thinking of? Is Stroke or Ace?
No, it's actually a different one. I swear to God, there's another one.
How many flipping movies did he do? Because they just keep rolling off.
It was called Hammer. It wasn't Hammer, but it was like something stupid like that. And the funny thing is, Clint Eastwood had all these movies that were great, you know, and he could go from Western to, you know, LA Cop or whatever, and it all worked out. And then freaking what was his name? Geez Christ. Jeez. Big Western hero from the 60s. What was his name? John Wayne. John Wayne comes out with this movie called like Hammer, or it was something stupid like that. You know, he was trying to be like Clint Eastwood, and it flopped, man. I mean, it flopped terrible. Brandon or something like that. It was called.
Yep. John Wayne is cowboy all the way. Has to be.
He was a terrible actor, though. I'm sorry. I love John Wayne. He was a horrible actor, man. He was terrible.
Have you ever seen John Wayne when he's supposed to get shot in the left chest? It looked like his stilettos were 5 sizes too small.
I don't remember that, but I do remember going to see True Grit in 1969 at the movie theaters when I was 9 years old, and he was really, really good. And it was one time I said John Wayne was a good actor, but other than that, it was horrible.
What
He
do
was.
you do when you're branded and you know you're...
Chuck Connors was good.
He was a good actor. He just couldn't pull that part off to me, getting shot. He just couldn't. It was like, you know, a wardrobe malfunction on the halftime, right? You know?
Blair's too, that's awesome. Blair's too knew him personally. He was the same in person as in films.
Granted, I'm just saying that one particular thing.
He was
I don't know.
horrible.
I
He
don't
was
know. Who's the
horrible.
Pillow Man?
He was fucking horrible.
Well,
I think my
cowboys.
favorite scene out of all of his movies is when that kid said he couldn't swim, so he threw him in the creek. And then the woman started
No,
yelling
that
at
was
him.
awesome. That was
And
awesome.
then she said she couldn't swim, and he got that look on his face, and she started to run.
Mhm.
Throw her in the creek too.
My grandpa did that to my mom. Threw her off a pier at Virginia Beach. Said, "You can't swim? Here you go." Threw her off a pier, and she learned how to swim.
What life did you answer that question?
I
Where's
don't know
the
who the Pillow Man is.
um
Mike
Lost.
Lindell. Do
Mike
you know Mike
Lindell? Yeah.
Lindell?
Where is the
He,
I don't.
Pillow Man?
my
That's a good
pillow.
question.
I
He's
saw
Where's the
him
gingerbread man?
in
Has
he
anybody caught
called.
him yet? Is anybody fast as he is? It's a questions we need to get answered now.
right.
I caught him one time.
See, we got to get that on record.
Larger than life. Oh, I'd love to meet him.
He was squishy.
You know, G-Ma Merkel's a lot kinkier than I thought she was.
Who?
Just Wayne
Oh,
kiss me.
really?
Like, oh, Gima Merkel, since you're here, what is a natural remedy for, what did they ask me? Oh, skin tags and moles. I know that there's a natural something that removes them.
Wait a minute. Somebody just said something in the chat. Hooper. That was another Burt Reynolds movie. Hooper.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, big chap.
That's the one I was thinking about. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. Just
Hey,
saying.
Chap. Good to see you.
Burt Reynolds.
Hooper. I know Burt Reynolds, man. He had to do like the most gay porn mustache that worked. You know?
That's the point, Yorga. I've been divorced for a long time. But when the first Playgirl came out, my wife bought it. I thought, so what? You go back and get that. Pull the centerfold out of Burt Reynolds. If you can keep a straight face, shit, I got to pay you $1 million. If that
I saw it. He had all his
only
hairy legs and stuff, and it looks like a marble.
and
I
that
have no
mustache.
desire, nor do I have the intention to do such a thing. I would rather remember that guy just the way I do.
It wasn't like the Farrah Fawcett poster, man. It wasn't.
Yeah, but it's that mustache. It looked like he was laughing at himself. It was hilarious.
And he had a toupee, and he had a glue-on toupee. Okay,
It's tough to pull off the solo mustache. Not too many people can do it.
I'm gonna get a fake mustache just to come up on this show next time. I'm gonna get a Burt Reynolds like glue on the mustache.
I glue my beards on, so I can't talk much. I do use beard pieces.
Beard pieces. They're like pork chop pieces or something.
If I want to go for a little extra length or curlage,
Think of it this way. If Burt Reynolds was in Roadhouse instead of Patrick Swayze, and the guy says, the name's Dalton, and you turned around and looked at him, you're the head cooler? Come on.
I love Burt Reynolds. I swear to God. And I've said this before on a live stream, but I was lost somewhere in northern Florida, somewhere. And there was a sign that said Burt Reynolds Ranch. And I went down a damn road. I went down the damn road. I said, fuck it, Burt Reynolds lives here.
He has his own abandoned
It was
monument.
abandoned at the time. I went up in there and there was nothing there, man. It was like all this abandoned shit, man. I was like, whoa.
Built his own mausoleum and everything, and it's all just sitting there in the woods rotting.
Yeah.
I was hoping I was going to find, what was his wife's name? What was her name? The girl from WKLP.
Fanny?
Couldn't tell you.
Lonnie Anderson.
I know her face,
Lonnie Anderson. Yeah, I was hoping I was going to find her up in there, but she won't there. I didn't find nothing there.
Bailey was better looking than Lonnie.
And the bad thing was, afterwards, I was still lost.
I think Jacqueline Smith was prettier than all of them. But
Do you know what's
Jacqueline
weird?
Smith.
You
Gotta
want to
look
hear
her
something
up.
weird about that?
That's a
There's
different
a
show.
small church right up the road from me, like a mile up the road from me. And I don't know, 2 Sundays ago, Jacqueline
Oh
Smith
yeah,
was
she was.
talking there.
Yeah, Jacqueline Smith.
Jacqueline Smith was talking at that church. I didn't go, but
Yeah, she
it
is.
was advertised. I guess she's doing Christian stuff now, or whatever. And I
I
was like,
remember that
man,
story,
I
Gino.
loved her so much, man. Oh my God. But no, I didn't go.
Okay, on a serious note, real quick, this that I have up here, 2-year-old girl found unaccompanied at the border with a note.
I seen that
I
report
wonder what the
earlier.
note said.
What parent, was she kidnapped? Was she sold? Was she...
You don't know.
What
At
I
that age,
want
they
to
don't
know,
even know.
what I want to know is they knew the nationality of the child. I want to know how they knew that.
Yeah, that
Maybe
too.
by the note, maybe.
And G-Ma Merkel said no lie. When he filmed Rooster Cogburn at the end of the original, you can hear a baby cry during the last scene when they say goodbye. That baby was me. Got kissed and I peed on John Wayne.
Mm.
I remember her telling that
Something
story.
else.
Hey, she peed on the Duke.
She peed on the Duke. I'm glad she didn't dookie on a Duke.
You said Jacqueline Smith. I'll give you the top. Jennifer Love Hewitt. She's gorgeous.
Nah,
Man, Jacqueline Smith was, man, and I literally, when I was 23, I had a girlfriend that looked just like Jacqueline Smith, man. I mean, it was like, I was like, oh, I've reached heaven at this point, and I didn't treat her well. But anyways, so that ended. And, but yeah. And then, like I said, just the other day ago, Jacqueline Smith was at a church right up the street from my house.
wow.
I should have gone. But then I would have been all like, not for the right reasons. Yeah, not for, she's going to talk about God and everything. And I'm going, oh my God, I want to do you so bad.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm a freaking vampire.
She probably would have signed your handkerchief.
Yes, hilarious too. That's how
I did not go on purpose. You know what I mean? It was like Jacqueline Smith is a mile from my house right now. And I'm not going. I'm not, no, because I don't trust me. You know what I mean? And I always loved Charlie's Angels. Are you crazy, man? I mean, damn.
You can trust you because I don't think she would give you the time of day.
You're probably absolutely right.
I mean, most actresses, I'm not saying just because it's you, I'm just saying the odds are against you.
I'm like,
I don't know. You never met me, and she never met me either. So she might go, that damn Yorga, it looks quite attractive to me, even if you go old bastard right now.
I can picture you knocking at her door and you go,
I could picture me knocking the bottom out of that thing, man. I mean, come on.
Oh my goodness, Yorga.
Saying, come on, baby. Come on, baby.
I'm talking like, the frame of her house. So.
Oh my gosh.
That's the part where I get kicked out, right?
No. Has Bonnie ever kicked anybody out? Because I never got kicked out. So
I did last night.
Did we talk about that? So it wasn't Black Watch? Because I assumed it was Black Watch,
we had
it was a Black Watch. It was
We had it chiseled on the front door last night. Tip, tip, tip.
Okay.
Stone carver came in.
He was being mean to Wildlife and Carl and Blackwatch, and I was like, okay, that in the chat, and it just totally disrespectful.
Who was?
The gentleman that was up, well, no, I won't call him a gentleman. The man that was up here last night on panel.
All right, not me though, right?
And
I
yes,
don't know.
Ghetto came up and
It wasn't ghetto, right? It wasn't
get
ghetto.
rid of, no, it wasn't Ghetto.
No, Gatto seen it coming, made a comment, and he almost nailed. He says, 3 minutes from now, he's going to be getting the boot. And then he came up, and I swear it was almost 3 minutes to the second when it went too far. It was almost like, okay, he did that on purpose because the timing was too good.
Dang, I missed a
It
little
was slowly escalating, yeah, for sure.
shenanigan. I missed a good
It
Well,
was.
it's not the first time, and that's why Ghetto was on it, because Ghetto's seen this more than I have. All right, I've seen it myself, and I
Me
know
too.
Ghetto.
Me too, Wayne. I feel left out too. I would have loved to have been on panel with somebody.
Been around drunk people, I can hear how they talk. Even if I've never been around you, you know, it's that slur.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I should have done it
Oh,
sooner,
I'm
but
glad it's on the internet, Watt, because many times in my life I can recall somebody talking right next to me to a gal, and then he says the wrong thing, and the next thing you know, he's laying on the floor. So it's a good thing,
Yeah.
probably, that I'm on the internet.
You
Which
had, you had
panel?
a point, Watt. You could almost count the fingers of the Jack Daniels, you know. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Hilarious said just because you like Burt Reynolds, you won't get you kicked off.
Mm. That's the law of the land.
How can
That'd
you
be
not
so.
like Burt Reynolds?
No, it's not like. Are you gay?
I don't know, ask Ronnie Anderson.
Big blonde boobs? Is that what you mean? Big blonde boobs?
No, she divorced him, so she must not like him.
Mm.
I swear I drove up into his house and he wasn't there.
And out of all them Charlie's Angels, all right, they're all pretty girls, but that Tanya Roberts, the last Charlie's Angels, no, that was on a whole different level. Tanya Roberts trumped all them. Cheryl Ladd was, you know.
Didn't she die, no? Didn't she die young?
Yeah, but she was alive back then. I'm talking about back in the 70s. That Tanya Roberts girl, that was the one that was, wow.
Wow.
She won't remember that.
That's why the guy got kicked off. And why did he get kicked off?
Well, he asked somebody if they were gay. That was one of the things. That's
It's
not
probably the way he asked, because I don't ever mean it in a judgmental, condemning way. So which is true. Thank you, Andy.
Y'all are killing me.
There was something I wanted to tell you. I forgot.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I
The part you forgot.
It keeps going further away.
how does she say it? Tell
It's
me
going
about
away.
it.
And she forgot.
Gone. Gone, baby, gone.
Don't you hate it when you do that? I got something to say. Wait a minute. What kind of fuck was it?
He asked if it was Blackwatch. I assumed it was Blackwatch. I said, "Oh, Blackwatch? Was it Blackwatch again?"
I've been a very good boy.
Yes, you have.
I only picked that character about what 28 times? Kicked him about 36.
Been working on your self-control, I guess. Good job. Me too. Me too.
There's somebody at the door, Bonnie. Some woman says, "You ordered a Swedish meatball palm reader?"
These
Fortune teller for Swedish meatball?
Meatball thermometer?
You missed a meatball, did you, Yorga? what life was displaying his Italian and Swedish meatballs.
The cat.
Can you buy
Sometimes
those
you
at
do,
Food Line?
sometimes
The
you don't.
Italian Swedish meatball?
Have you ever seen
Yeah.
that skit about sweaty balls?
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
It's sweaty. SHEDDY. Sweaty balls. All right. And it's a Saturday Night Live skit. It's bloody hilarious. All right.
Pardon me, Food Line lady. Do you have any Italian Swedish meatballs?
Work on the accent, Yorga.
Sweaty meatballs.
Look at my beard.
Do a big splash with salty
It's
chocolate.
glorious, isn't it?
And if walking on the German side, it would be, that's one good nobbin.
Good in Flavin. You know what they say in Germany when you just say it's time to say goodbye? They say, good in buying.
Good.
That is not what they
See you later.
Sounds legit.
Let me meet you.
I thought it was
We're making that up and we don't really know, that's the thing.
I know, because I know German. I know Swedish. I know all that shit.
Affen wegen Groschen waren.
Mm-hmm.
I could speak Spanish. You know how?
Mm-hmm.
I can just go. Like a dinga, 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 like a dinga. That means, I don't know what it means. But
It doesn't mean anything. That's what it means.
yeah, but it sounds good in Spanish, though.
Not really.
No. That sounded more like
It
It's like
Italian.
Portuguese.
It's more like Portuguese. Exactly.
Yeah, it's more of a Portuguese dialect.
That's what they speak in Brazil. And the only reason I know that is I dated a girl from Brazil, and she was crazy as hell. And she spoke Portuguese.
See?
Hasta la vista, baby.
Oh,
That's that's Italian. That's French or something. Oui, oui.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's funny.
No speckling Deutsch.
Hasta la vista, baby.
baby.
Uh-huh.
No,
Watermelon came on. I look horrible. Okay. I'm just coming to you so I can look so terrible, so horrible, just so you won't feel so bad about yourself.
Me too. Me too. So fine. We're here.
Your beard glue hasn't
I'm here.
dried
I'm
yet.
live.
And you're perfect.
I got a giant beard going. I need to shave it.
Enjoy your youth and your perfection.
You know, I've got a couple of friends. I've got a couple of friends that are my age, and they can't grow a whisker
Yeah.
anywhere. They're like, I don't know if they're Native American or what they are, but they can't grow a hair nowhere, and they're jealous of me. And man, I can go like 3 days, and I'm like Grizzly Adams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
See
can't
it.
help it, man. And I hate shaving, man. Shaving sucks, man. Shaving blows,
It's like
man.
a grift. It seems like a grift, Oh, you gotta buy this stuff. Buy these razors. Buy this shaving cream.
Exactly. That's why I don't do
Except
it.
for the
I mean,
ladies.
it's expensive too. It's expensive too.
Yeah, beards are nice. Ladies like beards, all right.
I went to a barber shop one time. It's probably been 20 years ago. And I just went, because you see the movies where people get shaves in the barber shop and everything.
That looks so scary to me. Them above you.
I went and did that one time, man. My daughter was with me. She's like 5 years old. And she's going, Dad, you're bleeding. It was a Chinese lady that was shaving me. I said, I want a haircut and I want a shave, like a real shave where they put the hot towel on you and all that.
my God.
Bullshit, man. I mean, I wanted the whole deal like it was a Western movie, man.
She could have slit your throat, took your
I
daughter.
think he probably said something
She
to
had
piss him off
freaking
before he sat
the
down.
straight razor and everything. And my daughter's going, and she's only like 4 or 5 years old. She's going, Dad, you're bleeding. And I'm like, shut up.
Mm.
And it was the most horrible experience I ever went through in my life. This lady did not know what she was doing. She had no fucking clue. And
Amazing.
and it was terrible. I had to pay her like $40, and I went out of there with no mustache or no. It wasn't looking like Burt Reynolds.
His name tag that read Sweeney Todd should have gave it away, Yorga.
Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Yorga, if you grow that thing out, be prepared. Girls just want to touch your beard all the time. I don't know what that's about.
When I was 29 years old, I grew it all the way out. Like
It's like they're
And,
petting
you
you
know,
or something. They got
just to see what the hell it would do, you know. It was like this bush. It was
Like a young Walt Whitman.
terrible. And I finally just was one day I just like get it off me, and I shaved it all off myself. Cut it off with scissors, and then shaved it off. And I felt like my head was like as big as a baseball.
So what is that, Andy? Is it like patting the Twitter or something? Is that, I mean, what is that all about? No, Indy's agreeing with me. I'm asking her what that's all about. Is it just like petting an animal or something?
You shaved 2 years ago. She hasn't wanted you since, Payne. What are you talking about? Your old lady saying she hasn't wanted you since you shaved. You better grow that shit out quick. That's a problem. You got to fix that.
No, it's not. My husband had a full beard when I met him, started dating him. And it was years, 2 or 3 years before he shaved it off. And I can't remember. I think his work made him shave it. And he looked identical to his oldest brother. It was even the kids were like, Uncle Mike. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, some guys can look totally different after they've shaved their beards. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For you.
Facial, any hair, your hair on your head, or facial hair, yeah, it makes a big difference.
But I didn't mind it. It was more cheeks to kiss.
I beg your pardon.
I mean,
It's like,
I don't care if my husband has a beard or he shaves it. Like, he's had a goatee, he's done the mustache, he's done all the things. It's like, whatever. There's only one look I don't really care for, and that's like a really small, super tiny goatee on the chin where it reminds me of.
I've done those. I've done those before.
No.
Yeah. It was just like this one little thing
Like
to do.
like a French concierge goatee, you know?
My favorite one is, and I could do it down because I got enough hair going. I cut it all down like it's almost like a line.
Yeah.
Going from here to here. I call it the Dr. Quest. Remember Johnny Quest, that cartoon show?
Did
And
that.
I do the Dr. Quest where I go.
There you
It's like
go.
a little mustache. It goes down this little line on the skull. Now,
I like
I
that one.
look like Johnny Quest's dad.
Yeah.
Right?
Whoever that is.
Yes.
Whatever.
It's
I don't know.
Jeannie.
The performance shop I raced out of, they were quite serious.
I mean, I'm not trying to pick up chicks with it or anything. I just like it.
See, and that's so then y'all shouldn't complain about how we do our hair.
Please just trim.
When did I complain about that?
I don't think I've ever complained about a woman's hair, really.
Sometimes I'll do. Do you ever remember if there was an evil twin like on Star Trek or something? They always had like a little goatee. Like the Spock had a goatee and this Kirk had a goatee, but he was evil.
Right? They look like
Sometimes I'll shave it like that.
yeah.
A Klingon.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Kirk's evil twin.
So,
I'm not doing that. That's why I've ignored that comment twice. I'm not saying it. GMA Merkel. I'm not saying it.
I knew a guy. We're talking all this hair, facial, dumb shit that you can do. He grew like this thing. It was like a pencil that looked out of the end of his freaking chin. Everything else was shaved except for this pencil looking thing that came straight out of his chin. And he worked for Reynolds Metals. I'll just say it straight up, because they're out of business now. I think they made the Reynolds wrap and stuff like that. And they said, you can't come in here like this anymore. You can't come in here looking like this anymore because you're. And he said,
"Mafia guy."
They said you got to shave it. You got to shave that shit. And he went, okay. And he came in the next day and he had a Hitler mustache.
No way.
see, Al's not a fan.
They fired him that day.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, we used to call him Robbie Baby. His name is Robbie, but we always called him Robbie Baby.
Robbie Baby.
Robbie Baby.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant to say earlier.
Peaches are the best thing ever. Peaches and cream are the only thing.
You talk about that goatee. There was a shop I raced under, two Portuguese brothers. One looked Portuguese, the other was white, Joe. And I went in one time, you could count the hairs in his little goatee. He says, what? I couldn't stop laughing. This tiny little, I could count the hairs. One.
Little landing strip.
Oh, really?
I can count the hairs. There's 45.
46. And I cranked, Oh, boy.
Right, hilarious too.
All I can add to this.
Keep going.
All I can add to this conversation is they don't call them handlebars for nothing.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
I probably shouldn't have come here.
Jesus help me.
Yeah. I keep trying to change it. It just continues.
No, it's probably go to somebody else's stream. I don't know.
Jesus help me.
There's some channels that go for this bare knuckle boxing. They really do today. But I got to show them at the turn of the century, early 1900s, the guys with the tights and the handlebar mustache with their fist up. Now, if you find that.
Yeah.
Why, Diana?
I don't like my men in tights. I'm just saying.
And then there's bicycles with those giant wheels on the front.
Prefer them not in tights, really.
Yeah.
A lot. Like, no, thank you. Please don't wear tights.
No.
So, not too tight of pants either.
Well, you wouldn't like me now, baby, because I'm wearing my tights.
I
Oh,
prefer
well,
the loincloth or maybe a cod piece.
I got one of them too.
Oh,
No loincloths. Oh my gosh, no.
no.
No, we like to be surprised. Keep that stuff a secret. Do not broadcast it.
It ain't gotta be a secret, baby.
Robin Hood tights are way too much. Like I've seen some plays,
Yep.
Yeah.
where the
yeah.
ballet performances. I'm like, wow, that's weird. They're jumping around stage. I'm just like, I'm really uncomfortable.
That's as bad as the Speedo. It's all bad. Nothing tight.
I know it's really shallow. I can't help it. It's just like we don't see that all the
I was the really bad guy at ballet, but I did wear the pants.
time.
It's not that anybody should wear it, but it's the people that you see wearing it definitely shouldn't be wearing it.
They're different. They're usually different.
I can actually pull it off. I'm pretty skinny.
Any guy could.
Oh, Lord.
It just depends what the look you're going for is,
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, Cola.
If they're green tights and you're Peter Pan, that's one thing. Now, if you're Robin Hood, that's a whole nother look.
Robin Hood would come into your house with a deer on its shoulder, like, let's eat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Robin Hood
Earl Flynn.
He's the only guy in tights. Was it Mel Gibson? Who played Robin Hood? Kevin Costner. Oh my gosh. Shoot. I love Kevin Costner. Some old time
There's
Kevin
been
Costner.
several incantations of them over the years. There's been many Robin Hood movies.
But Kevin Costner was the one that I liked the best.
I never knew he did. Kevin Costner did Robin Hood.
I believe so.
Yeah, like the early 90s.
No, I didn't. You were tripping one night.
No, and Dances with Wolves, you can see his butt too.
That's different.
There you go. Google it.
That's also very rare. Just saying.
That wasn't his butt. That was two socks.
No, that was damn Kevin Costner.
He's Jackson Brown. I'm a looking.
Errol
Careful.
Flynn. Look, Errol Flynn was Robin Hood. He's the only Robin Hood there ever was. He came flopping up in somebody's castle with a deer on his freaking shoulder and said, "Here, we're gonna eat." And to the king or whatnot.
I remember that scene.
And
One.
Errol
Let's see.
Flynn.
He wasn't the only one. Dances with tights. Hey.
Bless you.
Yeah, he was wearing spandex and shit. I mean, I know.
That was a great movie. Dances with Wolves was a great movie.
Yeah, there
Oh,
was.
God, back to Dances with Wolves. Ain't got nothing to do with freaking Robin Hood.
I'm not talking about your shit. I'm talking about my shit, okay?
It's the 7
talking
degrees
about
of
your
Kevin
shit.
Costner.
Yeah, well, whatever. Talk about whatever you want. I don't care.
No, I like Kevin Costner. He's all right. As long as he's sleeping.
I mean, who knows? He's probably one of them. But
I think Eva Merkel likes him too.
yeah,
Never
Mr.
know.
Rose, when I stopped watching movies, I was like, oh, this is a dark movie. And then my family tried to get me to watch Black Mirror, where the guy was going to do the pig. And I'm like, I'm not watching this. Goodbye. I don't watch shit like that. That's gross.
I don't watch movies with the mirrors in the title.
I don't
What
watch
about
movies where people do a pig.
Right?
I didn't catch what she was talking about. All I
Right.
catch was what would you see with what pigs?
Black Mirror. Is that it? Is that the name of it?
I've never heard of it.
Very
I
first
don't know.
one. The guy has to make it. Yeah, it's gross. I walked away. I was like, I'm not watching. I'm freaking watching it. And people talk about that. That's the first one they have to get past to watch any of those. It's disgusting.
I have a request.
Yes.
So if y'all could please mute, I'm going to play this.
Okay.
All right.
What do we got going? A chick flick or some Journey songs? What's going on?
got to be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's baby. All the
All that.
corners stand back and let her walk on by. She's got to be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's baby. She's got to be somebody's baby. She's so fine. She's probably somebody's only light, gonna shine tonight. Yeah, she's probably somebody's baby, alright. I heard her talking with a friend when she thought nobody else was around. She said she's got to be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's baby. 'Cause when the cars and the signs and the street lights light up the town, she's got to be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's baby. She's got to be somebody's baby. She's so fine. She's gonna be somebody's only light, gonna shine tonight. Yeah, she's gonna be somebody's baby tonight. I try to shut my eyes, but I can't get her out of my sight. I know I'm gonna know her, but I gotta get over my fright. Well, I'm just gonna walk up to her, I'm gonna talk to her tonight. Yeah, she's gonna be somebody's only light, gonna shine tonight. Yeah, she's gonna be somebody's baby tonight. She's gonna be somebody's only light, gonna shine tonight. Yeah, she's gonna be somebody's baby tonight. Gonna shine tonight, make it mine 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 tonight.
Who did that song? Was that Jackson Brown or Billy Joel? Who did that originally?
Jackson Brown. Well, I'm sorry, Gma. I gotta play covers. Yeah, he was proud of himself.
Not bad. Not bad.
It happens.
And Wayne, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. I thought you said you cooked your uncle in the pit like a pig.
Mm.
Sorry about that.
Hmm.
11 Junction, Kentucky. I'd love to go back to Kentucky too.
Mhm.
Come out, Virginia. Don't make me wait. Catholic girls start much too late. Sooner or later, it comes down to fate.
Oh, goodness, Wayne. That's awesome. 89. Uh-oh. Who'd we lose? Carl. Did he hit the wrong button? See?
Damn it out.
He was singing a minute ago, so.
What happened, Carl?
I don't know. Got knocked out. I thought you kicked me out finally.
I didn't touch you. I figured you hit the wrong button while you were singing and dancing there.
No, I didn't touch nothing. Just all of a sudden, aw, snap. You get that warning or that notice? You ever seen that? Aw, snap. Something went wrong.
Yeah.
They didn't like my Billy Joel. I get it.
That sort of music reminds me of. Do any of you guys? I know everybody's from all over parts of the country. Do you remember Pablo Cruz? Remember that
Yeah.
band?
No.
Pablo Cruz.
Pablo
Oh,
Cruz.
yes, their most popular songs were in the tip of my tongue. It's coming.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm going. Good night. I'm going. Good night.
Something's gonna come for you. Good night. Dun, 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 something. Dun, 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 dun.
That was quick.
No, I ain't got the words right. But remember that song?
It was a 70s song. It just right on the tip
Oh
of my
man,
tongue.
Pablo Cruz was the shit. They came here and played live, and I went and saw them, and they were amazing. It was like a funk, rock, just great band with great vocals and everything.
I never cared for funk.
Oh, I love funk. I love funk because I actually played in a black band for like a year and a half, and I learned to play funk, and I was like, oh, hell yeah! And I played. I mean, I could play anything from Randy Rhoads to to funk. You try to play everything to jazz. I mean, all my teachers were jazz players.
Okay, D,
And
I about you. That was sudden.
excuse me.
D, you just suddenly got super tired.
I got superly tired.
No, D. It's not all about you, Yorga. Sorry.
I'll
No,
shut up for now.
I'm just joking. And Al, you are so right. It would be a heck of a party. Good night, kiss off. Have a good night. Okay.
It could be done.
I'm still trying to think of the Pablo Cruz song that was so popular in the 70s.
What you gonna do when she says goodbye? Bum, 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 what you gonna do when she is gone? That's what the song was.
You're not alone, Carl. I can't get it.
No, that ain't the one I'm thinking of.
Well, they had 4 or 5 hits, I think. I'm sorry, I keep talking because people want me to shut up and everything, but that's what it was. It was Pablo Cruz. What you gonna do when she says goodbye?
And love will find a way.
And love will find a way. Yep, you're right.
I remember the name. I can't place any song. Love will. No, I'm coming up with somebody else with that.
They were a badass band, man. They were a badass.
What you gonna do when they come for you?
Oh, the Dogs. What you gonna do when they come for you, bad boy, bad boy?
No, I didn't do that. They did. What you gonna do when she says goodbye? What you gonna do when she is gone? That was, man, that was like gold. Man. Like gold.
Thank you, Indy, for posting that. There's a country version. It's the reverse of that. What you gonna do with the cowboy when he don't saddle up and ride away?
I
Oh,
thought
really?
you were going to say what he didn't have a Swedish meatballs or something. I don't know.
Those
Texas
Italian Swedish
Italian
meatballs.
Swedish meatballs.
He's Swedish.
But they have to, you need to get the Italian style.
How can you mess up meatballs? You roll it up, put some onion in it, a bit of salt, a bit of pepper, and that's
Be
that.
surprised.
And they
Be
put
surprised,
egg
my
and
friend.
bread and other stuff. And it's like a little meatloaf. And it's good. And you'll love it. Put some gravy on it, and you're going to be happy.
It's
I
not the
can remember
gravy,
when
it's
I
the
was a
sauce.
teenager.
It's the whole
I can
bread.
remember when I was young, I had a girlfriend proudly make me chili for the first time. And
Proudly.
she served me this big bowl of chili, and that's when I realized she didn't cook the hamburger before she put it in the chili. She just
She
put the
did
raw
it
hamburger
proudly.
in there.
Proudly, she did it.
Nice.
Well, I ate it, all right? I ate it. But
Well,
then I couldn't learn that you got to cook that before you put it in there.
so it was like boiled hamburger, right? I mean,
Chili
she took it
tartar.
from
It was
the-
raw hamburger, buddy. I mean, back in the
Oh
day,
my!
you could eat raw hamburger. I ate it.
And there's bread pieces and egg and everything up in there, and it was good. And it was proudly done. It was proudly presented to you.
He just said it, Pawnee. I said pate. It wasn't tartar. He just said the click, 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 tartar. Yeah. Raw hamburger.
And
You
that's
know,
a
I ate
myth.
it.
That's a myth that you can't eat raw hamburger because
I used to eat a lot of it when I was young.
when we're
And
butchering,
raw eggs. I used to eat raw eggs too.
yes, when we're butchering deer or making sausage or whatever, this one of the cousins, she would sit there and just eat it raw,
Yep. I've seen
and
people do that.
she's still alive.
Yep.
Yep,
I
I've done
know. I should be dead by now.
raw bacon in the beans or even green beans with whole new potatoes. Oh.
Oh, yep. Al Bundy's playing country songs in reverse for the happy ending.
Yes, my truck started working. I found my dog and my woman came back. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest eating it raw all the time.
I wouldn't do it these days, but back, 70s and 80s and stuff, I pretty much lived on hot dogs cold for years of my teens. They were apparently cooked hot dogs, but I just put a cold hot dog right out of the fridge on a bun, cover it with broken chips, crushed up Doritos or potato chips or whatever on it,
Me
squirt it with
too.
some mustard, and I was ready to go. Quick, easy, and I ate thousands of them things.
So why do y'all think that there is so much? Because that's one thing I've been seeing a lot of. E. coli, salmonella going on.
It's almost like somebody out there's trying to kill us all, isn't it?
Kind of.
Well, the listeria is simple. They're not cleaning the.
Hey, Eric, thank you.
What's up, Eric?
You've heard the stories about the meat counters in supermarkets, what they do when the meat starts to go a little bit pale.
Man, I've seen where they caught people in Michigan here peeing on the vegetables in the grocery store. Right? People do some gross ass shit. I don't trust
Oh my gosh. That's why everything you take home, fruits and vegetables, you wash them in vinegar water before you do them.
Yeah. Gotta clean them.
Also, that keeps it fresher in the refrigerator longer.
You should have told me that before I put my potatoes in the refrigerator crisper drawer.
What in the hell would motivate you to go into Food Line and piss on the green beans? You know what I mean? I mean, really, y'all just brought that up. I'm sorry. I got to spurt out for a second. But what would motivate you to? I mean, there's a bathroom right around the corner.
We were just talking about earlier, man. There's a lot of mental patients free out there in the world.
A lot of psychosis are just being downright mean. Look at the people who have worked in fast food restaurants that you were always afraid to make the cook mad because they said they would spit on it. Do you remember that? I mean, that's been for years.
No, I know.
A flip side to that, Yorga, think of this. The fruit and vegetables, whatever it is, the produce is 2 weeks past its date. And somebody changes the price sign to double what it was. Now that's balls.
Oh yeah.
Well,
today.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
I wouldn't resort to that, but I'd certainly sit there and go, "You got to be kidding me!" You'd end up literally starving. You know, how can somebody put that out? And some produce manager says, "What's wrong with that?" Well, the manager told me to do it.
Well, they do a lot.
I worked at a grocery store back in the 70s. All right, you know, I'm a teenager, and we got boxes of. There were 60-pound boxes of potatoes that were got them off the truck, and they were half of them were rotten, and I mean they were stinking rotten, man. And we, as young teenagers, we had to, you know, pick out the rotten ones and throw them away. And there was ice in there and stuff in the box. It was like a wax box, and yeah, and we had to do that, and it was one of the most horrible things I ever had to do in my life. For like $4.36 an hour, whatever I was making then, you know, which was actually good money for back then.
Yeah, it was. It was.
But still, it was like rotten potatoes are the grossest freaking things in the world.
Yeah. And
we had to pull them out and save the ones that seemed to be okay and sell them. You know, and it was like, this is bullshit, man. I mean, I'm behind the curtain. I'm like behind what is it? The Wizard of Oz is, you know, freaking curtain.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
No attention. He's right. It was exactly that, man. And I was like, man, I'm like 17 years old, man. What the fuck are we doing here? Terrible.
You've seen a potato go soft like that. You almost have to use a black light on the others to make sure. No, they look good, sure. A little bit green, but
man, it was horrible.
Horrible. Man, I worked as a line cook at a Big Boy, and I'd been there a while. And they got new management, and things started really getting bad there. And one night, I was told to go get the chicken out of the walk-in, and they kept the chicken in a big, clear, like 20-gallon tubs. And as soon as I opened the tub lid, before I even got out of there, I knew the chicken was bad, right? And my manager to that store, Oxford, Michigan, told me, "There's nothing wrong with that." I'm like, "Oh my God, dude, you're wrong. You can't serve this." He's like, "Serve it or you're fired." I said, "Well, I guess I'm fired because I'm not feeding people this chicken." And I walked out of that place. And 2 weeks later, it was in the news. He was an older guy, had a young girlfriend that was the hostess, and they had been embezzling from that company. They went down hard, man. They got caught with all this merchandise at their house and all the money they stole, and they went down. They tried to. The company wanted me to come back, but I didn't want nothing to do with it after that.
I'm with you, Carl. I can't imagine, like, you might be just getting by and you got that job, but how you can knowingly serve that against your will? It's just serving people food like that.
Hey,
No,
we
it
had
was
another.
bad.
We had another one. We had another one at the same place I'm telling you about. I was taking a pallet jack. You know what a pallet jack is?
Yeah, use
Full
them
of
all the time.
60-pound boxes of chickens that were in ice. There were chickens that were already, dead in ice, right? Had to come down a ramp off of a truck. And here I am. I'm 17 again. It's the same time, same period of time. And I weighed like 130 pounds, something like that. And come down off this ramp flying like 30 miles an hour. And I've got to like make a 30-degree turn to, and all the chickens go flying off and all the boxes go open and all the chickens are on the ground. And the ground this is the floor of air, where we unload our trucks. And it's dirty as hell, and these chickens are freaking mauled, man. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm fired now. They said, no, you're not fired. Just pick up all them chickens, put them back in the boxes, and we're going to sell them, And that's what they did. And that's what they did. I was like horrified. I'm like, I ain't buying none of these chickens, man. They've been on the ground. They're all black and shit on one side, from all the grime and everything from the floor and whatnot. It was terrible.
I've seen some bad stuff, man. I've worked at several restaurants, and I've seen it bad, and that's
Yeah,
why I don't
man.
like.
I mean, I was like,
I don't like going
what?
to restaurants.
I,
I
I
do
didn't
not like
sleep
food
that night.
restaurants.
I couldn't sleep that night. I was like, what?
I've seen the kitchens in the back of restaurants that when you open the door, 3 rats go out and 4 come in. You know,
That was what it was like. It was just like that.
Like Gma said, just cook it.
Another terrible one that I thought about the other day ago is this same place. We had this giant trash compactor that it was always getting stuck. And us teenagers would jump up in there and slide down this greasy freaking slide down to where the compactor was and kick our legs until the compactor started compacting. And then we had to climb back out, hopefully.
did you ever see a diapers?
So what you're
Huh?
saying, you're skinny as hell and twice as stupid.
I was what?
Did
Skinny
you
as
ever
hell
see?
and twice as stupid. Sorry, Carl.
I was just asking if you ever got to see a Dianoga.
Man, it was one of the dumbest things I ever did in my life.
You ain't kidding.
Completely lost you all with a nerd reference. A Dianoga was that creature that was in the trash compactor on Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
No, I didn't know. But I mean, once we got it loose and it started compacting, then it's compacting now. And you're on this greasy, freaking hill trying to get back out of this place. It was the dumbest freaking thing.
Came a voice from the skies on that heavenly morning.
Hey, Lisa.
That's a good jam right there, Bonnie. Billy Thorpe. Children of the sun, children of the sun.
So, doesn't putting potatoes in the refrigerator make them rot quicker?
I was told
I
you
don't
don't
know.
put those in there.
That's like self-recycling food, man. Every time my potatoes have ever gone bad, I throw them in a pile of dirt and they grow new potatoes. It's a great, great operation.
Right.
That is a good idea.
But I thought that they had to stay dry and like
I've seen good fresh potatoes come out of the most moldy, dried up, dead looking pile of potatoes you ever seen. Somehow they still come back.
yeah. Yeah, I don't either, Al. I thought they needed air to like garlic, onions,
They
olive.
do. They do. They need that. That's why I got them here, and I thought, do I throw them in the crisper? So I listened to people on panel, YouTube channel, and they said the only time you put them in crisper, put them in a paper towel, and they got to be ones you're going to use in the foreseeable, like 5 days. The
Right.
other ones are in a box in the dark, in the cold or the cool, which you can't do in an apartment, obviously. So, and if there's any green in them, don't eat them. It won't cook out. But anyway, onions are the same. Don't put them together with potatoes.
Yeah, it didn't put anything near my onions because
Yeah.
it does something. The girls, they'll just throw. I have a fruit basket that has a banana holder that sticks up out of the middle of it. And they would just throw everything in there together. And
No, not potatoes.
so I'm taking them out and separating them. Well, hilarious too says she puts potatoes in the refrigerator. They last longer.
That's what. Sorry.
I've just never put them in the refrigerator. I didn't know that.
No, I went through that. Somebody said, don't do it. I said, good. They've been in there for 3 days. I never did it. We always had a basement, so you had a cardboard box. And even if
Yeah.
they started to grow from the eye, you just cut that off. But if there's any green in it, it won't cook out. You throw them out.
You can't eat them if they have green.
No, if there's any green, they're coming from the eyes, and that's a chemical like chlorophyll won't cook out. It'll make you very ill
Oh,
in quality.
Bitter. Makes you wonderful.
Hey, I heard a story the other day, guys. I'm gonna put my camera on. Just think this. A credible story I heard the other day, guys, about a family. I think they were in Germany, and they had a little girl who was sitting at the kitchen table drawing a picture, and she had a mother, father, and a grandmother. I think that's what it was. Anyway, you can look at it. And the father was frying onions, and he went, "Shit, I need some potato." He asked the mother, "Do we have any potatoes?" She said, "Yeah, there's some in the basement, but I think they've gone bad." Okay, this is for real. And so he goes down into the basement, shuts the door, going to the basement, and then come back up. And so the mother's like, "Well, where's your dad?" You know. She goes down to the basement, shuts the door, doesn't come back up. Grandma goes down into the basement, shuts the door, doesn't come back up.
oh no.
Finally, yes, this is a true story. The little girl who was drawing the picture went. She goes, opens the door, but left the door open, and goes down and finds everybody dead. And it was because of the potatoes that had gone bad, had left off this gas. That as long as the door was closed, it would kill everybody. It didn't kill the little girl because she left the door open. No kidding, man. I'm not joking.
Methane gas is no joke. It'll kill you.
Yeah.
You guys got to have air.
Rotten potatoes killed everybody.
The Great Potato Famine, 1845.
Echoes the chat up store apples with vegetables. Something about apples causes
Apples could probably do the same thing. Yeah.
vegetables to ripen and spoil quicker.
Hey,
Yeah.
Blue.
That is a true story.
I'll be darned.
I'm not making it up.
Happens to people in sewers and tunnels and stuff. You got to know they have devices you can wear on yourself that'll tell you if there's a gas, methane buildup, underground or something, because it'll get you. It'll get you quick.
Yeah.
There was another story that's apparently true. They had an elderly lady, you call them grandma, and for whatever reason, she needed a knee replacement to use a cadaver. And they said, "Well, grandma's sleeping." No, she wasn't. The gas escaped from the bone into her body and she was gone.
I did not know that about the green. Because I've peeled them and there's been a look, but I just keep peeling until I don't see green and cook them. It's a wonder my family's alive.
You know what? I don't even peel potatoes. I like the skins. I do. I like the skin.
Well, I
My
do
favorite
too.
thing to do with potatoes is wrap them in foil and throw them in the bottom of a campfire. Cook them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why if you're lucky to live near a fresh daily market, you just buy what you need for the day. And then you go around the corner and you get your next meal. No worries about storage.
Well, and I've noticed if they're not in a bag, the potatoes seem to last longer if they just sell them like separately.
That's a lot more money too, though, Lonnie, aren't they? Loose potatoes
Yes,
charge a lot more.
cost a little more, but if they're going to last longer.
No, I mean a lot more today. A lot more. You're right. Pay $1, and but apparently they're almost double. I'll show you. You get a bag of, I think it's 5 pounds, whatever, just about $8. You buy them loose, they're $2.50 a pound.
Well, okay, y'all got crazy prices up there because I don't pay that much for a bag of potatoes.
Actually, they're going to, for 3 months, 4 months, remove tax on everything. Food, everything. No GST, HST, nothing. Gone. If it's
Hey,
packed.
and everybody should know that. Don't eat the green potatoes, because look what it did to Al.
So y'all get taxed on all your food, every bit of it?
Yeah, there were certain things that were exempt. I think I told you, he was a premier of Ontario. Forget his name now. He ran on the premise no HST, which is harmonized, provincial and federal. Well, he resigned. Yeah, small wonder, because he voted for it and it came in 2 weeks later.
Wow.
HST, harmonized provincial and federal GST put together. And it's disgusting.
Here, the only groceries that get taxed are like soda waters or what else? I think that's about it of food.
I gotta admit, our premier, which lived 20 years in Illinois, apparently, he's the best thing since sliced bread. You pay your $120 a year for your sticker for your car, he gives you it back. Cuts the provincial tax on gasoline. He vowed never to raise tax in 6 years he hasn't. And all kinds of stuff coming back. The federals, oh good. And it's not Trudeau. It's a quote, the federal government.
We don't want to hook up with Canada. They're still under the crown. I bet it's the crown doing that.
No, I told you that ended in 1981.
Oh,
Everything's voluntary. It's all voluntary. The Commonwealth, everything. We could pull out any time since 81. That's where they got that flag in 67. I thought was a kid's prank. And they got rid of the British North America Act at the same time. And it was finalized in 1981. There's a little commemorative coin in 1981. We're not under crown rule. No, not
no.
since 81. Just because you got her picture on the $20 bill doesn't mean squat.
Does it?
How many provinces are in Canada, Blackwood?
10 provinces, 2 territories.
So we could have another 12 states if y'all just joined us, right?
Not likely.
Oh. Lost Georgia.
Did we lose Watt? I guess we did. He hasn't said anything for a long time.
Watt's muted. We lost Georgia.
There is hope.
Watt's probably eating supper. My stomach's sitting here growling. I'm like,
Salad. Oh, yeah, the salad. I love salads. I got onions, but they're soft. They're like a little bit bigger than a hardball. But
I like that title. You know, I like that. Operation Canadian Bacon.
That's what he keeps saying, hilarious too. And I thought that they still did.
no, I haven't had in a long time. Beets and vinegar. I used to love them, beets and vinegar.
Pickled beets. Yeah.
But I'd have to cook them, and they stink.
Yeah.
When you
Well,
boil
the
them.
best way that I know of how to prepare beets is to take them, throw them right outside in the compost heap, and grow something else.
Goodness.
There's a lot.
I take it you don't like beets, Carl.
That and eggplants, that's not even food. That's something
No,
else.
eggplant. I don't. What's the
I love eggplant.
squash is really good. If you do it right, steam it.
Yes. With butter. Everything's better with butter.
Butter.
I can eat pretty much everything else. Just them beets and them eggplants. That's just not food for humans.
if fried eggplant is so good.
Oh, geez.
Eggplant parmesan. Eggplant is good. Y'all haven't eaten it the right way.
Oh, I've heard that before. I had a gal once make me a kale smoothie. She said it was going to be so good and so good for me. And I remember she had one and I had one, and it was horrible. But I drank mine, and I look at her, and she's hiding the fact that she was trying to get rid of hers. I ain't going for that shit.
I don't think I've ever tasted kale. I don't know. Not that I know of.
Well, a kale smoothie is it's really hard to get it down. All right.
Yeah. Something like barium. Drink this.
Seal delivered. Oh, I like that one, Jimmy. Canadian bacon is a comedy.
I need to see that, Al. I definitely need to see that. And actually, Canadians have been in the trenches in the world wars with us. And they're good fighters, and they've been in the shit. They always seem to manage to be in the worst places when it comes to battles. They're fighters. I'm glad they're our allies when it comes to that.
Like I told you, Carl, the Geneva Convention was written because of Canadians, not by Canadians. 1914, they celebrated Christmas with the Germans. 1915, the Germans got a surprise at Christmas.
So it was the Canadians that did that Christmas
Yep.
shutdown. Huh.
In the First World War, yeah.
Well,
What?
ever since then, it seems like they try to make it to where Christmas Day, no one is fighting. Don't they still do that?
No, that was the armistice. No, that was 1914. Everybody was hokey dokey. They were dancing together. Let's go
Right.
back.
But I mean, it seems like they try to call a ceasefire.
It may be an attempt to be fairly done.
Middle Eastern countries and such, but they don't give a crap.
Well, I know they don't, but
It may have been attempted, but I don't think it's ever been done again.
oh wow. In
I don't-
Georgia, all the groceries are taxed too. I can't believe that.
Prepared food here is.
Oh, we'll fight that. Not just, no. I mean, beer, wine, cigarettes, gasoline, for whatever reason, soda waters, but not food. Unless
Everything
you
here.
get takeout, then it's taxed, but not in the grocery store.
When you talk about tax,
Yeah.
well, he announced, it was Trudeau. He says if this gets passed, April you get $220. The GST immediately is coming off of, and I didn't know. I remember when it came in, but he mentioned diapers, and I thought, holy crap, you're paying that on diapers? And apparently we are. It's a good
That's
thing when my kid was born, I wasn't any of that.
but they're
Wayne, where are you
having
anyway? I heard you say that earlier.
clothesline and cloth diapers, rubber breeches.
Where you at, Wayne? I've seen you say that a couple times where you haven't had any rain. That's one I know there too, G-Mom Merkel.
I wonder if anybody puts that in their preps. Cloth diapers and
Well, this is more to disposable. Very few do cloth anymore. We didn't.
well, I know, but if things went bad, you wouldn't be able to get the diapers.
No, but did you want to deal with diaper rash because you didn't put enough time in it? I don't know.
That's why you make sure A&D ointments in your preps too. Vaseline, whatever.
Right on, Wayne. You guys don't get a lot of rain out there anyway, do you?
There's flooding in Australia their summer.
And you still got your butt, don't you, Al? Georgia taxes everything, and they have a surplus of tax revenue of about $80 million. Goodness.
When did they come out with the modern diaper? Because all I remember was cloth ones. When did the Huggies and all that stuff start?
About 1970,
80s.
late 60s.
Oh, was it that far back?
I don't know. You know more. You had 6 of them. I don't
I
know.
know, and I know with the first two, it was cloth diapers for sure. But, I don't know. I always had cloth diapers on hand. Even my mother, and we still do. I mean, you never know.
Well, I've got some large trauma bandages I'm sure could improvise into a diaper if I had to. Well, I don't see that happening.
One part I don't want to go back to, Carl. I did it, but oh my God.
Gmo said 1961.
Was it?
Oh,
Hmm. $200 a month to water? Good grief.
Mm-hmm.
hey, I might not be, I might not have no kids or nothing, but I've changed a lot of diapers. I've babysit a lot of kids, and I ain't afraid to change a diaper. I know how to do all that properly.
I wasn't afraid of it. It just wasn't the most blissful time of my life on occasion.
It could be nasty as hell, man. It's like, you ever seen it come out of there like green spinach in
Yeah.
a can? That's a horror. That's a unique methane smell right there itself.
Yeah, I'm stuck with the safety pin. Those were some big safety pins for the diapers.
When the woman said, "We just put her on soft vegetable food," I said, "Yeah, I know." The rainbow. Wow. Jeez.
One of my boys, oh, never mind.
Yeah, let's not go there, shall we?
Just make sure you wear underwear.
Did you ever get him a jolly jumper?
No.
Put him in
What's
one of them? We did, and boing, boing, boing.
Oh, I didn't know it was called a jolly jumper.
The cord thing.
I don't
Well,
remember.
Canadians do have their own names for stuff.
Well, that was how it was marketed, the jolly jumper.
I've literally seen candy that we have here named one thing, and up in Canada they call it something completely different.
I could never figure out what you were talking about.
There is a candy. It's almost like little sweet tarts. Comes in a clear, twisted package. They're called Smarties here. I can't remember what they were called in Canada. It's the exact same company, everything, but they call them something different in Canada. I don't know why.
Huh.
And they're not the only candy to do it. That's the only one I could reference.
Well, it's like Tylenol in Britain and Australia, Pala something. It's the same company. They just can't. It's like the stop smoking things. Down there, you call it Champix. We can't. It's called Chantix because it's inferring champion. It will work. Hands down, it will work. That's the thought of it. So it's Chantix.
You know what, Blue? Auto corrupt is a prissy beach.
Al, you were a little troublemaker climbing out of his crib. My kids did that too.
I was an escape artist. My mom told a story about they had these gates. They're like scissored gates that you can hook to the wall and open up, and
To
man, those
keep,
things are pinky,
yeah.
But I was a baby, and she
Oh,
had that gate closed in my room, and she fell down the stairs and broke her leg real bad.
goodness.
And she said, I was, like I said, probably a year old. And I said something like, "Mom, you fall down," and she's like, trying to hold it together. She said, "I climbed that gate and crawled down that staircase because I knew something was wrong, apparently." But yeah, of course, I don't really remember that, but she did.
Yeah. Developmental. True. Oh, my little grandson, he is something else. He is all over the place and he is into everything. If it's not tied down, bolted down, he's got it.
I got a question, and I know you're not going to be a favorable answer. I know you can put molasses in tobacco that you roll. Can you bring back a stale pack of cigarettes to something better than stale?
It's you can do that by opening them in a humid area. You know, if you take a dry pack of cigarettes on a hot and humid day and open them cigarettes, it will absorb the moisture in the air.
I'm telling you, this city defies
Hey,
science.
man.
As far
What's up,
from
man?
crappy stuff.
And yeah, because while I was on my trip, now I know it's really hard to find my cigarettes, and so we found some at this one place, but they're pretty stale. Got them here in a bag for emergencies, but I was wondering the same thing, if there was some way to get that. Ugh.
It's like sucking the paint off a wall.
Yeah.
Well, when we had dry weed, we'd take some orange peel or some lettuce, and we'd stick it in the bag with it, and that would help. You know,
Apples
there's
and
things you can do, like the apple peelings. You can put that in with your tobacco. It will. Don't do it too long. Keep an eye, because it will immediately add moisture to it. You know?
yeah.
Oh, hey, rainwater.
That's one thing, prices are ridiculous. But when you consider $20 to $25, $1 a piece for a cigarette, that's what it comes down to. Pretty well.
What's
Hi,
up, David?
David. Good to see you.
Yep, Mr. Goody Two Shoes is here.
David, I'm going to enjoy something, dang it.
I do enjoy smoking. That's the biggest thing about it. I may be sacrificing something by doing so, but I'd
Yep,
rather be a smoker than a drinker or a druggie or something like that.
yep.
I got to tell you, I quit for over 10 months, and that was heaven. Not to even think about it after a while. Mind you, when you crest 200 and some odd pounds, you got to keep active, but still.
David, nobody here for that. So, not happening.
Yeah, I can't do that either, Mayhem. I haven't bought store rolled cigarettes in 30 something years. I just can't do those. They taste like chemicals to me now. I always roll my own. It costs me maybe $20 for a month of smoking. I get several boxes of tubes and a big bag of tobacco, and it lasts me. It's a lot cheaper than, I know a lot of people that buy those $10 packs of cigarettes, and sometimes they go through two of those a day, so they're spending $20 a day on what it costs me all month to smoke. I can't afford that.
I remember somehow there's McDonald's, and I
Yep.
think it's all Philip Morris International owned, but it was McDonald's. And it was Select Blue because the white pack was Select on it in blue. And I went up to see some woman in some place, right? And I go in the store, and actually they looked on a wholesaler's list. One guy, he says, "Look at the list; it's not there." But this guy had them. So I got a
I
couple.
get 100% pure pipe tobacco. It's called Red River, and it's made in Texas. And it's got no additives or, in cigarettes today, they even put a chemical in there that keeps the cigarette from burning if you set it down for too long. I've read where Philip Morris Marlboro and such has over 100 chemical additives to the tobacco. That's getting to the ridiculous point where if you get away from those and then go to smoke one after you smoke the natural stuff, you can taste the chemicals. All right, I'm not making that up. You can taste it.
But the thing was, Carl, up here they put the retardant in it because people were getting drunk and dropping the cigarette in their lap. So they went to the cigarette tobacco company. Should have said to the people, that's what happened when you get drunk and you drop a cigarette in your lap. You fall asleep.
I need to start rolling them. I have all of it. I have the tobacco. I have the machine. It's in my preps in case I can't buy. But
I was just listening to a song by War, Gmo. Cisco
just,
Kid.
I can't get as light of a cigarette as I smoke. Mine has like just no nicotine. Like, I think it's got 6. No, and you can't buy
I do
tobacco.
that all the time, Mayhem. I get those all the time because I keep my roaches in my tobacco pouch so it tastes a little better.
Mayhem. That's last night when my kids came in. They're like, "Mom, are you smoking pot?" I smell pot. Go, Mom. And I'm like, no.
You know what happened up here with the lockdown? They said tobacco, and that's not a necessity. Tobacco company said, okay, you deal with your customers. It became a necessity.
Right on, Gmo. I remember before they were selling this stuff in pouches. I mean, they've always sold like bugler stuff, but there were in Traverse City, Michigan, there was a guy that had a company behind another company. He had to pull around back and he had like this shed set up and you go in there and you could buy tobacco out of 5-gallon buckets. He'd have all different flavors and stuff lined up and you were buying it right from the source. And it was dirt cheap back then.
Yeah.
And they sell ultralight. Okay.
They're about 10 cents a pack when my dad used to send me for his.
It's still stronger. It's stronger than mine. If, like, I've gone and got Marlboro ultralights and they're still stronger. But
You know what, Mayhem? I mix stuff up every time I poke smot. I think I'm allergic. I think I'm allergic to smoking weed because every time I smoke it, my eyes get red and my head feels funny.
Sorry, Coral, but that's just the image of it. And yeah.
Well, I'm not as thinking stoned I am.
that's a good price, Gino. 53 for a 5-pound bag.
Buy a case of Visine. They'll never know you smoke weed. Get the red out.
I've had people ask me what was wrong because I wasn't high.
Night, David.
You mentioned a song by War, didn't they, War? War, what is a good
Yes,
boy?
you mentioned that earlier.
Say it
Low
again.
Rider by War, but they had a song. The Cisco Kid was a friend of mine.
15
Cisco
cartons.
drank the whiskey, Pancho drank the wine.
Dang.
Do 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 do.
15 cartons out of a 5-pound bag. That's crazy.
Well, like I said, I get how much is it? It's only 1 pound. A 1 pound bag, and I can get 16 ounces. So I get 3 200 tube cigarettes out of a pound. So I'm getting about 600 cigarettes per pound. So she's
Wow.
got 5 pounds. That's 6 times 500. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of cigarettes.
3 carton.
Well, maybe it'll help me cut back at least, even. or quit?
I don't even want any other. If I can't find my brand, I don't like store-bought cigarettes no more. If they quit making this stuff, I'd probably have to quit because I haven't been able to find anything like it. I'm very particular, and I have gone a period of time because I couldn't find it. I'll just wait until I get it, you know.
Hence the way I feel about my store bought. And
How fast do they burn? I find the store bought, they're fresh. There's nothing wrong with them, but boy, do they go. Even the king size thing. They, don't put them in that.
People that smoke non-filtered Camels and Pall Malls or whatever that, when they smoke one of mine, they go shit because it lasts a lot longer and it's a very powerful cigarette. I gotta feel that hit. All right, these are by no means a light cigarette. If somebody smokes Marlboros or something, they'll hit this a few times and put it out halfway. They'll be done. These
I remember Camels, and they tasted like camel. God, they were. Oh, gee,
Well, there
turkey.
were several non-filtered. They had Chesterfield, Pall Mall,
Yeah.
Camel.
Used to be
Yeah.
in the soft packages, soft pack 20s. God, they were awful.
that's
That's
my
what I
kid.
thought was weird about Canada, Black Watch, is the last time I've been there was, like I said, early 90s, 91 maybe. But you guys have 25 cigarettes in your packs where we've always had 20.
Yeah.
Well, just a carton is 200, however they pack it, 825s or 1020s. I remember at L&M when my dad, similar to the packaging and Camels. Oh, God, they were. You didn't want your kid to steal them from you? Smoke Camels. They won't steal them from you.
Yes, they would.
Oh,
I can
good.
remember the cigarettes you guys had. I can't remember the brand name, but they're like, okay, these are the closest ones to what you guys have, Marlboros or whatever it was I was smoking. Winston's is what I used to smoke. And they said these cigarettes there in Canada were the closest to them. And they were a fatter cigarette with 25 in the pack. But in like 91, that was like $12 a pack for those when you go there. And so they
Dang.
were super expensive. Yeah, because packs are still like $3, $4 down here. And
Hmm.
Well, we
they
started with
did not taste like Winston's, or they did not taste the same. There was something different about those cigarettes.
what the kids had was McDonald's Export A, and they were regular length. They were strong, just like what you
These
said.
ones were in a red and white pack. If you can remember the name of those, that
Red
I
and
would
white.
recognize. Yeah, it was a red and white pack, and like I said, 25 to a pack, pretty hefty, full flavor, kings, whatever you want to call them, and I remember finding those same brand in a couple regions of Canada, so they were popular back then.
I don't remember red and white or whatever.
Please say cowboy red.
No, it was something I don't remember. It was definitely a brand that nothing to do with America. Something
Okay.
fancy.
Kentucky blend is the one you want, Camo. I don't know. My kids, whenever they grab one of my cigarettes, they're cutting the filter off
Yeah,
because they're like nothing to them. To me, there's something.
There was a guy on an English panel recently. I was shocked by it. He said, "Well, I smoke filters so that they're cleaner." I said, "You do know filters compress it. You get 10 times it all through a filter compared to." He says, "Really?" And I thought, oh, that was the scuttlebutt. Filters compress it. You get 10 times the hit, the carcinogens.
Yeah,
They
totally.
made them for women to get women to smoke. But anyway,
I can't imagine not having a filter. So if you buy the tubes, it's still the bad filter? What?
There's different brands you can get. The reason I stick with the brand I have is because those filters stay together pretty good. I've noticed some of those bargain brand filters, they're losing fibers and stuff inside
Oh,
the cigarette, when you roll it. So you could be smoking some fibers. Not
huh.
into that.
And well, I could see that happening with Dollar General tubes. I was surprised whenever the kids told me they sell the tobacco in tubes.
I'm curious. So you have a convenience variety store. Are the cigarettes being in, uh, uh, what would you call them? Like the shelves have doors on them, or are you allowed to display it?
Oh,
You
they
can
just,
play
this
it.
has gotten, Michigan's changed so much now where you don't have to have a party store no more. The gas stations sell liquor and tobacco and beer and everything right there in the gas stations. I'm not even kidding. You can get it just
Yeah,
blows my mind. Drinking and driving is such a problem that we're gonna put beer and liquor right there where you fuel up. Don't pay no attention to it. I know you're not supposed to drink and drive. Don't look at that. Just fill up your tank. Don't buy that beer. It's like talk about tempting people trying to fight the urge.
yeah. Gma, that's where I got my tubes and tobacco, was from the Smoker's Outlet.
They got those here too, but there's not that much of a savings.
That's what they did here. They haven't. It hasn't gone into effect. But the premier wine and beer to 80. It was controlled by government run stores. It's going to be convenience stores, and I thought, well, you go down and get a loaf of bread that costs twice as much, and you got enough for wine and beer. I don't want it personally. I don't mind it being government controlled to some extent.
There's like 7 weed stores within walking distance from where I'm at, and each one has 100 flavors and more. They got packaged, they got all kinds of stuff. There's thousands of kinds of weeds around here, and you can go in there and let's say you buy a $25 bag. It's gonna be $32 out the door because they got taxes on them, high taxes on 'em. They're
Dang.
making money. They're making some jack off it, just like they do the liquor, all that.
No.
Yeah, the Smoker's Outlet online. The one that Pappy told us about a long time ago. Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Very poop tired.
No, I was thinking when you played that song, and don't give me orientation. That's not the point. I can remember a little blonde kid singing, "Wake me up before you go, go. I don't want to be going solo." And the man that sang, "I want to be your father figure," I saw him as a kid, as a man gone. Makes you feel old. Someone's lifetime,
That's like the
and you kind of
80s.
like,
That was
holy
MTV era.
and he was well into his 50s. God. Mm,
Yep.
You're talking about George Michael. Took me a minute.
yeah. Fatty liver disease. He died Christmas Day. Well, Christmas.
Wow.
But anyway,
George Michael. Is he the one that sang all those good love songs?
You
Wham!
gotta have faith, faith, faith. You
You
gotta
got
have faith.
it.
You know, he had several MTV videos that were played on a cycle constantly.
He was a good singer. He was.
No, but I mean the really good love songs.
Pardon? I'm sorry.
Is he the one that sang the really good love songs?
Wham! Wake me up before you go go.
No, not Wham, George Michael.
George Michael was Wham.
Yeah.
But then he was just George Michael, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was George Michael when he was a young kid with blonde hair, and he was part of Wham.
But didn't he go away from Wham and just be George Michael?
Oh yeah. Wham didn't last. She wasn't.
Then he was caught masturbating or something in a public restroom or something.
That's why I said don't go to whatever. He just sang well. That's all. I don't
He
agree.
was caught doing that?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
He had a checkered whatever.
Well, Stingray's back. Wants to come visit some more. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of music on MTV I really appreciated that much. I never liked Madonna. Never liked George Michael. Never liked Culture Club. Never. A lot of those bands just didn't like them.
I like Madonna's. What is it? I hope to live to tell the tale. I hope to live to tell the tale. That song she did. There's a couple that were really good. But she's not a woman that could dress the way she dressed. No.
I don't think I'm going to stay on.
I've fallen asleep.
I need to eat.
You were eating.
Well, I'm not done yet, and I ain't got nothing I got to do tomorrow. Maybe I'll go live. You want to come up over there, Yorga?
Yorga's still here? Where'd he go?
Oh, you're going to go live again? Cool.
I might. He ain't listened to us. He's probably lost in the past here. Probably hasn't caught up, so because he's still asking, he can't hear us. He will in a while.
Carl's going to go live. Go to Carl's. Everybody.
Bonnie's tapping out.
I got to eat. Have to. I mean, my stomach's like growling. I can't believe y'all don't hear.
What's on the menu?
I don't know. I ate all my steak.
Vanilla wafers, probably.
No, I've been munching on that. It's probably why my stomach's like. Yeah, you can go live, and then I can continue painting on my backdrop. I put some cards up there. You can tell me what it looks like. Oh, y'all are men. You're not going to tell me. Chat can tell me what it looks like.
That was uncalled for, Bonnie.
Well, I mean, but I added some stuff in it. I'm not real sure about it. I took old Christmas cards that,
You're starting to reevaluate your whole plan. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at it like I'm not real sure about the Christmas cards.
Well, there's something I've learned about the upholstery world. All right. I can do a chair or something, and I'm my worst critic. All right. I will see one little wrinkle that bugs me, one little stitch out of place, but in reality, the customer and nobody else on the planet is going to notice that. All right. It's just, to me, that was one stitch that could have been a little better. You know what I mean? And don't beat yourself up. You know, you gotta.
I'm not sure if I'll go live tomorrow night. I'm going to that city council meeting. It depends on how long it lasts and how angry I am after it or
Oh,
whatever.
you're gonna come
So
up here like D. You're gonna come up after that and vent it out like D.
maybe. But if I don't see y'all before then, have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too. You too. And I listen to a lot of Bob Seger, G-Mon. I have not heard that song in a long time. I'm gonna have to look that up and listen to that.
So, you don't have one set up.
No,
Coleop's,
it'll take me a few minutes. I got to go over there to StreamYard and then back over to YouTube, and then I got to go back and forth, and it'll take me a few minutes.
yep.
Thanks for having me up here.
Thank you for coming up, Carl. I appreciate it. And what life that disappeared?
Yeah,
All right.
she muted.
I'll
All
probably
right.
see you there. I know you enough, Bonnie. I'll probably see you there.
Yes, you know me.
Yeah.
All right. Let y'all go. Yep. Thank you for posting Carl's links. And I'll see y'all there if y'all are there. Good night. God bless you. Try to get some sleep sometime tonight. Thank you, Kim. Thank you all. Love y'all. Good night.